Hey Kalka, how's it going? You ready for week 4?
Absolutely. I've been waiting all week.
Oh, who hasn't? Everybody here
Yeah.
waiting for the LCC to go live and bring you the action. We have Kalka here on the cast. We will be having another guest caster later as Kalka takes the stage, and then maybe a little surprise TriCast for game 2. But half the people probably still aren't watching yet, so you lucky few that are here while we open up, you get a little preview on what will come later. Do you have anything you want to call out for this week as I'm going to go ahead and get us into our presentation?
Anything to call out? Let's see. Looking for some of the winless teams to maybe pick something up here. I truly believe in the capability of all the teams, but some people have just been a little unlucky. But I'm excited to see if Scorch or Zap could pick something up. That's definitely something to look out for. And yeah, that's really all I got for now. I think we've only got one short-term contract with Jags, unfortunately being out this week. Although I think Bassoon will be a fine replacement.
Yeah, the Jags greatly missed as always, but we have two fine replacements. We've got Bassoon and Kalka filling in for him. It takes two to fill what is it, to replicate just a portion of his power. So, but
Yep.
we got some call outs in the chat. Anything to Kalka out, if you will. It's pretty good. Pretty good.
Wow, that was bad.
Never heard that one before, I'm sure. But welcome to the LCC Week 4. As always, brought to you by Oasis Gaming. Get away from the toxicity and game at the Oasis. Go Humps. Okay, you have to say it.
Oh, go Humps. Sorry, I'm reading chat. Sorry, I got distracted.
Gotta go Humps. Go Humps. Also
Go
brought to you
Humps.
by the Lilac Lion, a premier wedding and event photographer in the Charlotte and surrounding areas. Constantly becoming more and more in demand. Katie is fantastic. She would be great to work with, and she's going to capture moments in your life for a lifetime. So reach out to the Lilac Lion Photography today. And finally, brought to you by Dr. Pepper, established in 1885 out of Waco, Texas. 23 incredible flavors and ingredients give you the perfect soft drink. Crack open a cold one with us tonight as we enter week 4. And here are our standings. Targon Titans, Vandal City Bucks sitting undefeated at 3-0 at the top of the table. We have our middle of the pack, Freljord Frost and the Bilgewater Bullets, both having wins, but struggling a little bit along the way. And then Zon Plague and Shurima Scorch, who have yet to pick up their first win of the round robin. So, Kalka, you mentioned looking at Zon Plague and Shurima Scorch, hopefully pick up a couple wins, ideally, so we can bring our table closer together. But it's always tough fighting up from the bottom. But one thing you have to look at is that, you know, it's 16 playoffs. You're going to get there. It is all about that week over week improvement. And we haven't even finished our first round robin, only in week 4.
Yep, still a lot of games left to play. A lot of improvement left to be made. So don't be too down on yourselves. If you're in one of those positions, there's plenty of opportunities for redemption.
Yeah, and like there's definitely highlights as well, because we can look at the Targon Titans and the Vandal City Bucks. The Bucks, historically a team that have struggled in the early part of the season. God, I need to take this song out of the playlist. I don't like it. But the Bucks, go Bucks, have had a stellar start to the season, 3-0, and they have been looking dominant with Hope and Most playing a killer duo mid jungle combination. And then the Targon Titans, who are no strangers to success, season 3 champions, and coming at us with a 3-0 start off the season. You can't be complaining about that too much.
Yeah, Target Titans and Bucks looking very good to start off the season. Hopefully, you know, just a little bit of bias here, but hopefully we'll be able to take them down a notch tonight. But aside from that, I won't be on the cast for that game, obviously. So if someone else can slander
We're
my
just
team
gonna
or
pipe in
whatever.
Kalka's direct comms.
Yep.
3 minutes ahead.
Guys, I'm roaming top.
Everybody, write that down. Write that down. All right, let's take a look at our matchups. As we mentioned before, Bullets versus Targon to start us off at 7 p.m. So that'll be our first matchup of the evening, and then roll into the Scorch versus Zon Plague. So battle at the bottom of the table. One of these teams is going to go home with a win, and one of them will remain victoryless to go into the end of the round robin. it's a tough spot to be in, but you definitely one of them is going to get some momentum. And with the return of Crispy, it was rough in week 3 for his first week back, but you can see just goodness, kid's got hands. And then our featured matchup, Bandle City Bucks versus Frost at 9 p.m.
Yep. So starting off with the Bullets versus Titans here. As I mentioned earlier, we have Bassoon coming subbing in for Jags, and Bullets they've been off and on at certain times. Sometimes it's hard to tell like if they're all gonna show up at the same time. But I think if they're all locked in, they should absolutely be able to take Titans the distance, and we should see a pretty even match there. And then Scorch versus Plague. Again, our sample size with the full Plague roster is just 1, but Scorch have also looked good in their games despite being 0-3. So I wouldn't count either of these teams out. As you said, one of them is coming home with a win today. So I have confidence that it should give the team that wins a confidence boost to accelerate through the standings.
And then our final matchup of the evening, the Bucks versus the Frost. I think this is a matchup that historically I was always excited for as a member of the Bucks. But for this season, I think it could be quite an exciting match. The Bucks are starting off 3-0. They have a playstyle that we've seen them kind of replicate week over week. We haven't seen a lot of deviation the first 2 weeks, even getting Hope onto his signature Ari pick. But then the Freljord Frost still looking for a bit of their identity in the current season. Historically, a lot of focus on CC and the draft process, but the Bucks are no slouch in the draft either, so I'm really curious to see how that one shakes out.
As am I, and I'm directly affecting the result. So, yeah.
Crossing your fingers hoping for the best.
Yeah, I am Most's older brother, so I do kind of have to maintain that streak.
So rivalry. I wasn't even aware.
This one is a little bit personal, but I'm not going to give away any kind of game plan. So,
shout out to Bassoon just subscribing, as well as Shape a little bit earlier on.
Thank you.
And so with that, I think let's take a look at our first matchup. We have the Bilgewater Bullets versus the Titans. Bilgewater Bullets 1-2, Targon Titans sitting at 3-0, and the Bilgewater Bullets for the evening. Frostide in the top lane, Bomb Man in the jungle, Spike in the mid lane, Bell on Marksman, and then we have a short-term contract for this week, Bassoon filling in for the lovely Jags. So Bullets here are going to definitely be impacted by the loss of Jags, but Bassoon, everybody perhaps not everybody. We have rookies that come in, Most even being one of them. But as you mentioned, and then Bassoon is a well-known member of the LCC, famous for his draft screen stats, and so perhaps will be able to assist the Bullets with their draft coming in for this week. At least he has a similar champion set to Jags, but I think the highlight here are going to be Braum. I'd say is his signature, Braum and Maokai. Wants to watch out for him on the Bullets. But give me the rundown for the Titans.
All right, Titans. In the top lane, you've got Frankward. Jungle, hold on, I actually can't see it. So, okay, yeah, jungle is Aztec. And then in mid lane, you've got Minty. And then bot lane, Carly Bay Jepsen. And coming in at support, you've got I can't see the screen. The Crimson Yoni. I forget who's on which team sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, that's why I have the slides. I forget constantly.
Yep.
But the Crimson Yoni, that's right.
Yep. Titans, as I said, looking very strong this season. Not a lot of weak points. So let's see if the Bullets can find a weakness in their armor and exploit it. But until then, it looks like the Titans want to continue their hot streak.
Yeah, Titans definitely going to be looking to continue their hot streak. And they've got, of course, the core of the Titans moving in to the season, so they have a bit of that history together. Frankward managing to pick up, he got Urgot last week, right? And put on, he showed us why that Urgot's scary. Even if you prepare a pick, he's just so much more comfortable on Gangplank and Urgot than the rest of the cast, that it really, it reminds me of why I can never get Vigard, because for some reason, I'm good at other characters, but apparently I'm just built different on the little man.
Yeah, Urgot was very scary. I think he got it once last season against us, but we cheesed it with Karma top. That was, and even then,
the completely
like,
normal Karma top pick.
Yes, of course. Even then, he was still like making some insane plays onto Chrissy's Vayne. I remember being in voice comms and Crispy just like, "Oh, what?" Just at random points of the game.
Last week, the snipe with the ultimate from so far away. I'm pretty sure that's the fastest moving missile in the game. So it's quite difficult to dodge out. It really comes down to having that right timing and aim.
Unless you consider Akali herself being a missile for her R2, then I don't think I can think of anything else.
I don't think I can count a dash as a missile.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Her own champion model is a projectile. What do you mean?
Yeah, I think it travels faster than teleport does, like as you're flying through the air.
Makes sense.
But let's take a look at, I think we can continue to drill in on draft, but we can also just highlight any interesting matchups between these teams. We can look at the lane matchups. We've got Frost-Eyed MVP from last season, who has had some struggles into the first part of season 5, versing off against Frankward, who has had a lot of success over time, but really, I would say, a bit married to his selection of champions in the top lane. If he's not able to get that core, kind of relegated onto some Ornn on some tank duty, and Frost-Eyed refusing to be relegated onto some tank duty, largely going for, I would say, some riskier picks.
Yeah. Important to note that the Targon Titans have red side, and historically, at least from what I've noticed, Minty loves to have that counter pick for himself. So Spike is going to have to blind something into Minty, and we'll see if Minty can counteract that in some way. But that's potentially something to look out for as the draft plays out.
I think it's definitely a good one to call out. Frankward. And we are on into draft. Beautiful.
Oh, okay, good. Sorry, I didn't see you join. So I was worried for a second there. Okay. All right. So how will Bullet start us off with the bans? Immediately, that Urgot is gone. Learning the lessons from last week, not wanting to try to cook up any counter picks to it, so they'll take it off the board. And the Titans respond with Nasus. Let's see how Bullets continue. Getting rid of Tristana. That's one of CBJ's signature picks. Braum taken out by Titans. Targeting Bassoon there. Definitely well known for his Braum.
Got a note about the Bassoon Braum. The Nasus is a takeaway that I'm interested in. Do you think the nerf directly was trying to take him out of the jungle, so we can assume this is a top lane Nasus ban? And I wonder if it's just part of the match history research, Frost-Eye's been spamming it, or if this is a matchup that they're really looking to avoid for a pick that they have. And my thought really goes towards Ornn because of the ban against Gangplank and Urgot. I'm not sure. This Tristana ban is actually, I think, a mid lane ban, based on where I think Tristana's been strong lately, but it, of course, covers the marksman role as well.
Yeah, I think Titan's plan is to weak side Frank because they assume Gangplank and Urgot will be gone, and Nasus can just thrive into tank matchups because he can't be bullied that well. Where, let's see, so Bullets get Bell's Smolder. That's something that he's been playing a lot in solo queue.
Yeah, Paz been banned out against him several times, just trying to make sure he doesn't get his biggest comfort pick available. Nami hovered, so the Smolder Nami looking to just get that safe disengage, try to make sure they can scale up. We got a nice scaling option locked in for the Bullets, so it's going to secure their late game. So we're looking for some setup for the rest of the team now. What are we going to round out this core? Wouldn't be surprised to see Bomb Man's jungle come through. Imagine saving Spike's pick for as late as they can, but perhaps not wanting to go through another round of bans, but here we go, jungle locked in for Bomb Man, the Sejuani. Unless this is a Frost-Eyed weird
so
flex
far
to the top. But I wouldn't be shocked if it's Frost-Eyed.
I wouldn't put it past him.
No,
I wouldn't put it past him.
I wouldn't put it past him.
So, interesting that the Titans have opted for Xayah plus Leona. I mean, they had Zaya and Rakan available, but chose to take the Leona instead. I guess it's something Ioni's probably just more comfortable on. And there we'll see Lux picked up, and I'm assuming that's going into Minty's hands.
Absolutely. It's got to be the Minty Lux coming through.
Yep, because support already picked up. And so this is something we don't see utilized in draft too often, is picking a solo lane on R3 and then banning out the counters.
Mm-hmm.
Because see right there, we see Syndra taken out, something that Spike is known for.
We may see just Syndra Akali taken out for Spike.
Yep.
Lux able to play into Akali just fine, but it is by far, I would say, Spike's most scary pick to play into. Manages to find a lot of pickups on that, and I think Lux, she's like, Minty's got to be happy to picking up Lux.
And there's the Ornn ban trying to make sure Frank can't play weak side very well. It'll depend on what this jungle pick is for Titans, but their bot lane does have lots of setup with the Leona into Xayah route. Lux can roam like halfway down river and help out with an ultimate. Looks like they're already trying to play towards the bot side for Titans. So getting rid of those top laners that are able to play the weak side very well, definitely the focus here for Bullets. They'll take away Aztec's Udyr, who I'm not sure if I would have taken Udyr in that composition. Actually, I guess Udyr likes having pushing lanes.
One thing I'll say is Skarner's still up. And Skarner, I would say, I'm pretty sure is Aztec's most played within the LCC, but now here's a Wukong hover, and he has played Wukong several times. And locked in.
There you go, yeah.
So a lot of setup between the Eclipse and the Cyclone.
Yep. Targon coming out here with a very strong front-to-back team fighting composition so far. Very well-rounded, and they'll save top lane as their last pick. And so now Bullets have to finish their composition. They've got bot and jungle locked in. So that's okay. Shyvana. Still flexible. Okay, I'm going to wait to see where these champions end up going. They're already swapping them around, but okay.
Gragas is going to be for Frostide. Shyvana's going into the jungle for Bomb Man. Wukong almost certainly going to be in the jungle. I don't think Wukong top is prominent right now, but with the Black Cleaver buff, it's possible. Wukong historically loves building Black Cleaver in a Tiamat in top lane.
And that is Shyvana mid, as it's currently being hovered.
Oh, okay. Oh,
so
you're right. There's just I miscounted. You're right.
Yeah, so we saw Spike play Shyvana top a lot last season, and he's decided it's viable mid into Lux. So I'll be extremely interested to see who takes that mid lane matchup. I don't think I've ever seen this before in my life. Although, okay, I take that back. Mid lane Shyvana pre-rework was a super niche thing because her AP nuke build was disgusting. Yes, okay, it was bad, but it was really funny to be full AP.
But you could just do it in the jungle, and it actually was good. You didn't have to lane it. But yeah, Shyvana in Deluxe, I think, is... How is the rework going to affect this matchup? I think Minty is going to have a pretty good run of the mid lane. But one thing to consider is the triple melee on the top side for the Sejuani passive. So Shyvana, if you're able to get onto Lux, will be able to find some lockdown, but really it's going to be dependent on Bomb Man finding those flank angles to set that up. And then I think
so.
Minty's
First thing,
fine though.
Yeah, Lux can just AFK wave clear in mid, especially versus a Shyvana. Lux is just going to be so safe, pre-6 especially. And then Wukong... Okay, so here's what I'm concerned about for Titans is... So, Gragas, Sejuani, Shyvana, that sounds like a nightmare rotation for invading your jungle.
It definitely could be. One thing that I think hurts them is that Shyvana's never going to have cryo.
Potentially. That's probably correct. I guess she could just sacrifice some HP to E the wave as it's coming in, and then press W.
Either way, it's just never going to clear it
Some AoE.
faster than Lux is, at least without not dropping damage. But I do believe that Shyvana is going, with the move speed off of W, it's going to be so easy. What is it called? Burnout or something?
I'm terrible with ability names.
I think her Q's like
Definitely my weakness.
Dragon Bite or something. I don't remember if they changed him for the rework or not. I think it was called Burnout at some point or something like that.
The other thing to note is this Gragas-Yorick top lane matchup. So Yorick, the standard Yorick,
wins, right?
Yes. So Gragas should just be able to body slam out of the Yorick wall, right?
Yes.
I don't think it has some weird. I don't think it has any weird collision rules with that.
So if Body Slam goes down to get away from melee range, then Yorick can look to use the cage to follow up, but otherwise it should be pretty safe for Gragas in that matchup. But I imagine Yorick wins the melee 1v1. I think it's going to come down to poke, so I'm going to be watching how the builds go up there. And I'm really going to be watching for how the builds go for both Gragas and Shyvana. If we have 2 AP glass cannons, how's that going to work out?
Yeah. Also, Gragas passive does offer a lot of sustain, so maybe Yorick's Ace Spam isn't going to be that effective. Also, I'm not sure how much damage Gragas Q will do to the ghouls.
Clone calling out that the Body Slam will clip the ghouls and stop you from being able to get through.
Interesting. Okay.
So that's annoying.
Yeah. So
if the ghouls are not there, then he can Body Slam out of it. But otherwise, the ghouls should be available to keep him locked in. For 30 seconds now on the spectator delay. I still haven't remembered to chop that little piece of the client out. I think we'll probably just drop it at the bottom, and I can let you see how close we are on the spectator delay. But that's week 5 stuff now, because I'm not doing it while we're live.
That's okay. And as for bot lane, I mentioned when it was picked, but Bell is definitely most comfortable on this Smolder pick, and he's got a Nami in his pocket to keep him safe. There is the potential for an early Wukong gank and Leona and Xayah's ability to just chain combos off each other for an early play to be made to get a snowball rolling in bot lane for the side of Targon and really hamper that Smolder's ability to stack.
Sorry, Bell.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm sure he'll forgive you. Okay.
Should have done that.
Okay, getting a look at the keystones here. I see Grasp taken on this Shyvana mid, along with the Ignite. Storm Raiders on Gragas lets me know that he's probably going to build the AP Glass Cannon. And then stock standard for everything on Targon's side, Grasp for Yorick, Comet for Lux, and
I think I like the Proto Belt angle as an answer for Gragas into the Yorick, because perhaps be able to get some distance away from the ghouls.
Okay. I've hit fast forward and it instantly caught me up, so I didn't have any delay. I'm currently at 10 seconds.
Thank goodness. Hopefully we won't have that debacle all night. Maybe they've fixed that. But here we go. We are onto the Rift for Game 1. Welcome to Week 4, everybody.
Yep. So there's the Doran Shield start for the Shyvana mid. I'm surprised he didn't take Teleport. Ignite means he wants to go for kills here, as Lux, being slightly aggressive, presses E to dissuade any pressure from bullets. The bullets are gonna get some wards onto the Titans' bot side jungle. Get some information there. They'll not entirely sure where Wukong is starting, but they'll see he's not starting bot side.
It's been kind of slow to start out in this season, but I love seeing our teams develop their week 1 strategy, or their level 1 strategies. Where are we going to try to get vision? Because I do think it's so important to be able to play out your game plan. If you don't know where the jungler is even starting, you're just working with just half the information you need to available. So at least seeing where they don't end up is valuable on its own. Spike with a nice trade to run through the Lucent Singularity there.
Yeah, he started his W to give him that burst of move speed out of it, and then that AoE was just in range to get a little bit of trade damage in. So he's clearly somewhat versed in how this matchup goes. See, there he is. He's only level 1 to the Lux level 2, but he still does good damage. Gets Minty down to half.
Focusing on the trading,
It's
he's not going to be able to clear the creep wave.
Oh, bot lane though, the Xayah and Leon are about to hit level 2. Wait, no, but bot lane, the bullets hit it first, so they are actually able to trade back. So support health for support health, pretty even. And the Nami likes that because she can just press W and get it back.
So both of our junglers clearing opposite directions at the moment. Wukong definitely behind on this early clear. So Aztec, I'm not sure exactly what the comparison is between just the champions on their own, but currently Aztec sitting behind a camp in the clear speed.
Yeah, I was watching the lanes a bit too much, so I didn't quite see what Wukong did. So Sejuani started red and has skipped Krugs, but oh, Wukong's here for the flash Q onto the Shyvana. First blood secured for Targon.
Goodness, what an aggressive routing out from Aztec to be standing on that side, but I guess predicted the all-in from Spike and is there to answer. So great play out of Aztec to answer that and pick up a first blood for Minty. She's going to be happy to have that one.
Yeah, it looks like Aztec was just going for vision onto Bombman's red side, saw that the Wraiths were gone, and decided, oh look, Shyvana's gankable.
Shyvana was practically about to flash for the finish, but then all of a sudden, clone, or what is it called? Decoy? I don't remember. Anyway,
I think it's decoy.
Decoy feels
I'll figure it
right.
out real quick. Warrior Trickster.
Yeah, it's Wukong's got
Bet you
funky
didn't know that.
ability names. Yeah.
Yep. I'll be very impressed if anyone in the chat knew that before I said what it was. Anyway. Looks like Smolders still only 15 stacks. Able to play safe so far. Oh, but the Leona E lands onto Nami. But no.
It looked like everybody
major
who it
trade.
was part of that interaction did not like it.
Yeah, that was a. Oh, wait. Did not want to be here. Got a moment. But Sejuani's down bot side. The Titans have vision. Should.
They're
Shyvana
crashing in
try
that
anything?
wave. Frosteye trying to finish a crash up topside, but Frankward, even down a level and half of his health bar, holds the creep wave with the cannon so he can keep it safely on his side of the lane. Frostide's out of resources, might struggle to push this in the rest of the way.
And Wukong is pathing top, finishing his Wraiths right now. Would be very deadly for Frostbite if he doesn't get this wave crashed. Oh, look at it. Yep, Frank is just continuing to pull that wave. But it does just barely manage to crash. Nope, never mind.
No.
Only one of them did.
Frostbide's got no resources. He's body slamming in even further. But now he's got nothing.
And now
Forced
here's
to flash
flash.
out. Goodness.
Oh, beautiful play by Frankwood right there. Just
Oh God, has
knowing
Frankfurt
that
expanded
the
his
minion
champ
wave. Yeah, that's that was definitely some pristine wave management right there.
He's a menace right now.
So
Burns the flash.
Gragas does
by
get the reset
freezing.
though.
Not one you see often, but then deciding to teleport in halfway out to the creep wave.
Yep. So
Not
Summonerless
moving.
Gragas, has not gone the tier. He's
I think
instead
he's
just
going
gone for the
Proto Belt.
Sapphire Crystal and Amptome. Yeah.
Or I imagine he's going Proto Belt. That looks like it could be a lost chapter.
Leona E
Maybe a
lands onto Bell, gonna force his flash, but the bubble from Nami hits Carly Bay and prevents the all-in from happening and saves Bell's life. He is forced to burn flash, ignite used by Leona, but that Smolder's gonna be in deep trouble for a little while.
Aztec was in the wings, but now onto the dragon alone. It's bomb
Yep, he should be able to take this for free. If they've kept track of Bombman's pathing at all, they would probably know that Bombman is top, and then with the push and bot, and Shyvana kind of forced to stay mid into this Lux matchup, it's a pretty safe dragon take for Aztec.
I think it's just
And
largely
again,
off the
Frank-
early timing. Nobody's prepared for it, and there's nobody can really come help. Bell on no mana with Smolder, completely unable to assist, as well as Bassoon, no mana.
Yep, and Frank is just holding this freeze extremely well, making Gragas miss a bunch of CS that he would love to go for but can't because of this precarious position.
Goodness, Frank continuing the freeze up here in the top side. Burning his teleport to get back up here after the first trade. But now with the Sheen, he is a menace. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. 38-52 currently in the top lane matchup.
Yep.
Flash
Oh,
forward.
Flash E from Leona misses it onto the Nami. That could have been a kill because Nami was
So
out of mana.
close.
So now with a flashless Leona, maybe Bomb Man looks for something here.
Definitely looking for it.
Leona is going to land, but didn't want that because Zerwani is here to back it up. Gets the Q onto the Leona. He's going to get the stun as well. Trying to give the kill over to the Smolder, and they will succeed. Meanwhile, Alt burned top by the York is going to try to chase down Gragas. Uses the wall, but he glitched through it. That was strange.
He was standing on top, and it pushed him the other direction. So Cross-side able to get away with the taunt and run away this time. Maiden deployed.
Oh,
Ult out
Ivana
mid.
going to ult in on top of Lux. Lux has flash, but she's already very low. Has to flash away. That's a one trade by the Shyvana. Dodges the Q for any return damage. Wukong is
in the
here. Was
lanes.
spotted on the pink ward. Yeah. Don't think they'll be able to do much. Shyvana does have her flash back up. Oh, but now Gragas is caught in the pit. The Maiden is damaging him so hard. But he's going to be able to live. Passive, keeping him alive. Okay, Wukong ult burned, so that there was action happening mid at the same time. Flash for flash in mid.
I was watching the mid action,
Wukong.
so we got to see that covered. Aztec jumping in from the side. They did know from that pink ward, as you mentioned, that he entered. But Minty taking a little bit more poke from the Shyvana E during the ult form. But as the ult drops off, there's no more opportunity left. So we're going to get a little bit of a reset. Void Grub spawning now. 2.5 minutes left to our next dragon, almost 3. Bombman standing on a ward bot side trying to find something, but Carly and Yoni trying to keep him on the hook as long as possible while Aztec moves over to the top lane objective.
Yep. 20 CS lead in every lane so far. As Sejuani's back in bot, forced to burn Zaya's ult. Sejuani flashes out, fearing
Not sure that
for
flash
her
was
life.
necessary.
I don't think so. But he's gonna go for a return gank. He has ult. No, he's just gonna kill Scuttle. Wait, is Scuttle there? No, it's not. I don't know what. Oh, he's picking up a honey fruit. Sorry, my.
Yoni
Camera
walking
moves.
back in will find Bombman in the bush as he drops down a ward in the pixel. Grub's picked up.
Stun gonna land, but Leona still has no flash. Nami forced to flash away from the Zaya. The kill is gonna go to Smolder, and now Zaya's flashing out to stay for her life in a 1v3. But the Bullet's bot lane is very low HP, so Zaya is still comfortable in that situation. So kill for Grubs. The Smolder is being allowed to scale.
Holder
So
is
despite
being
the
allowed to-
CS leads for all of the Titans' lanes, the Smolder's going to get some items and is going to be able to stack.
I'd say the mid lane CS lead, I would say, is completely expected. You're laning Shyvana into a Lux.
Yeah.
It should look like this. In the bot side, Bell on the Smolder going to be playing at a bit of a power deficit, but then Carly, I think, just keeping the excellent CS. 92 and 92 for mid and marksman on the side of Targon. Almost 10 minutes into the game, they're farming very well. So just keeping those numbers up, and then the bullets, maybe just dropping some of them. But I'm shocked by Frankfurt's performance on this Yorick in the top side. I think he's having a very good game for himself, and maybe showing another pick that needs to be banned.
Yep, Frosteye was trying to stop the back there, but he's going to get stuck in the cage and I'll try to ult himself to safety, but doesn't knock Frankfurt back very far. Frank gonna flash Q, doesn't quite have the damage as... Nope, there he is. He lands the... Gragas had flash, but did not flash the last bit of damage that took his life.
Yeah, the
So there
explosive
you go.
task, just a little bit out of alignment to knock Frankfurt backwards in the lane, instead only knocks him into the wall. You still get that CC duration, but he's not nearly as far away. And perhaps would have been able to flash out of that last, what's it called, like Grave Digger or something? The one where he calls his ghoulies.
Morning Mist.
Morning Mist. Yep, believe it or not, didn't have that on deck. Watching for a action here in the mid lane as both of our junglers hover around, but it's 8 seconds to the next dragon, and Aztec is already onto it, clearing some vision.
Yes, even though Smolder has gotten 2 kills, because it's Xayah Leona, they're able to get Prio in this bot lane, and also with that 30 CS lead. And so they just are able to secure dragons pretty freely. Looks like the bullets are trying to collapse onto this, though. Leona ult gonna miss. Nami ult over the top, gonna hit only Leona. Smolder ult over the top. Wukong forced ult as well. Shyvana is gonna ult 3 people, fearing all of them. Zaya's forced to burn ult. Sejuani ult misses, but Zaya's so low. Flash auto from Bell is gonna secure the kill. Spike's running away on 1 HP. Leona is trying to peel as best she can. Barrier usage by Bell is fantastic to keep him alive, but he's got Dragon Hour, but he's gonna live. That is a triple kill for the Shyvana. And the stun is also gonna land onto Lux. barely keep herself alive with the snare, and she'll get out just fine. But Dragon might not go down, but the bullets still pick up 3. Was that 3? Yes, that was 3 in the process.
Aztec's there first, but they can't finish the Dragon before the bullets are able to reinforce and contest the objective. Nicely done to find the team fight, and really that's what they're looking for. Spike on this Shyvana doesn't want to be laning. He wants to be busting open into these skirmishes, finding 3v3s and 5v5s, anything he can have that will allow him to make the most of that big Dragon ultimate. And in addition, finding the stacks of Dragon for his passive. Does the passive still work like that? I guess I'm not sure.
So, yeah. I'm pretty confident it does. It gives you more.
They win the fight, but now Targon are back out here, and they are going to pick up the second Dragon regardless. So 5-2 on the scoreboard, but second Dragon going over anyway on the tempo back. So nicely done.
The Bullets wave states were not in a good position, and they were also on very low HP, so it was a bit of a rough Dragon take if they wanted to continue it. And so the Titans keep up the tempo and are still able to secure Dragon.
That's up play.
So we love to see good macro. And there's this role quest complete for Smolder. Role quest starting to come in across the board very shortly here. So we should see some lane assignment swap ups soon. I know Shyvana wants to get out of this matchup as quick as she can.
Yep. Man, God, Frank might be the one to bust the tower first, which I think is to no one's shock on the Yorick, on the solo lane Yorick.
Okay, Leona gonna miss. Non-melt return. Does not block the Leona because she's buffers the E. Bell taken down very low from Zaya's damage. No kills go back, but Titans have control of the lane.
The pressure is down, going to maintain their advantage state, but unable to find the finish.
Okay, the Scuttle fight could be... No. Bullets
Scuttle
dead.
picked up by the bullets, so able to steal it away from Aztec there.
Very nice for them.
Oh, that's where we right there. Cross-side caught by the ghouls trying to body slam away. Doesn't quite have that proto belt yet. Looks like took a detour for Lost Chapter first.
Yeah, Gragas really does have a lot of mana issues, especially lane Gragas, so just a necessary pickup if he wants to be able to do anything, any kind of wave clear for an extended period of time.
Our first item completion
still
coming out.
Yep. This York is still just so oppressive into this Gragas. I thought maybe the passive would be enough to sustain him, but it's not nearly enough.
Oh no, and Gragas doesn't kill the ghouls very effectively. Your AoE damage from cast doesn't really do it.
Yep, okay. Next Dragon isn't for 3 minutes. Herald is coming up in 20 seconds, so we should see teams start to move towards that. Wukong is already topside, but Sejuani's cleared towards bot. We'll probably take a reset here. As you mentioned, items are starting to be completed. Leandri's first for Shyvana is, you know what, it's Shyvana. She can probably build anything, so I'm not too surprised.
I think Shyvana's about what I would expect, going for that maximum damage over time with the huge AoEs in the team fights, those giant fire blasts, and building that AP. But here we do have, right now, 2 blast cannons out of the solo lanes for the bullets, and so I'm curious to see how those are going to stack up. Who is going to deal with Frankward in the late game?
Yep, and top and jungle for Titans are on their Trinity 4 spikes, so conceding Herald here makes sense for bullets. Wukong and York with those items are just incredibly strong. And Sejuani will look to take Wukong's camps on his blue side. Oh, never mind.
I
just
really
getting
like
wards.
the invade angle. I think he should have. Looking for an explosive cast to try to cheese this out in the top side, or maybe just clear the creeps.
Yeah, he knows Wukong is up here.
Okay, yeah. Have a vision on it.
Oh, the W failed over the wall, so Shyvana's going to 1v1 the Wukong, actually 1v2. York is here too. Shyvana going to have to ult out to safety. Gets her over the wall. And might live. The Lux ult over the top did not connect. Wukong is very low. Bomb Man, I don't think you want this. This is a 1v3. Okay, dodges the snare. Shyvana's ult is running low. Aztec is very low HP, but he'll be able to get out. Bomb Man's jungle is his own.
Ooh, Eclipse just goes wide on the bot side, so everybody looking for some action, but nothing gonna stick so far. Spike gonna be forced to reset. Aztec quite low as well, but there's no objectives on the map. There's a minute to play till the next dragon.
Bubble lands on Zaya. She's forced to burn ult and respond to Smolder's ult. So Tidal Wave gonna land? but Nami and Smolder don't do a lot of damage just yet. That Xayah Leona is a very strong 2v2. Oh, Minty might be caught out here. Spike's gonna flash the Q. Gotta get the stun over the wall. Lux flashes away to safety, and nope, Sejuani ult's gonna connect. This might be another kill going over to bullets, but Minty damage is insane! He gets the trade back kill. Wukong's here to help out. It might just be a 1-for-1 in the end. Wukong is gonna W away from Sejuani and not get stunned in return. So it's a 1-for-1. Both mid lane flashes burned.
Cyclone burned up in that topside engagement, failing to use that Warrior's Trickster over the wall. Spike investing both summoners and then dying in the trade. So yeah, Minty's going to be very happy with that one. 2-1 now, 3-2 for Spike. So there's a lot of gold concentrated in the mid lane. It's 127 to 160, so we can check in on our gold totals. We've got 6,600 to 5,800 in the mid lane. So just largely off the back of that CS difference. In the top side, though, we can see it's ballooned even bigger, 6,800 to 5,500. So even, what is that, roughly 600 more advantage over to Frankward, or 28,000 to 30k on the teams.
Frostide loses 2/3 of his HP bar to 1E from Yorick.
Yorick's a cool champion. Everybody loves playing against him, and it's so fun every time.
I'm so glad I have the Yorick player in my team, so I don't have to worry about this.
No vision available on the dragon. They've got the first
turret gonna go down on top side, but okay, so Wukong ult into 4. Isn't gonna do much. Shyvana's gonna have to ult away, doesn't have flash. Sejuani, or Wukong flashes over into 4. Not the best decision, maybe. He's still alive, gets the kill on Shyvana. He's gonna live, maybe? No. Smolder Q's gonna get him. Nami forced to flash away. Xayah flashes to follow. And she might live? Gets the heal on herself, yes. Okay, so 1-for-1 in kills over that dragon, but the bullets get the dragon itself and stop the Titans from stacking.
Yep, stalling that stack is huge for their Smolder win condition, making sure that they're not just going to lose to a Dragon Soul, rather than able to secure their own Elder Dragon. I liked the engage from Aztec with that Cyclone. It brought a lot of damage to Carly and Crimson, stealing this red buff, so I'm curious to see if Bombman's going to... No, should... Alright, just gonna walk off. Oh, but he's
Carly
so curious!
He couldn't get vision in the bush in time to smite it away.
Nope, not able to get some vision away. So he did not have vision into the bush. Ooh, another flash forced out topside with the wall. So those ghouls really putting in that work. Clone was correct. Yeah, we knew it would be a rough lane topside, but Frostside is really feeling the pressure from Frank. 50 CS up. There was no vision in the bush, but you can see that the camp is still alive on the minimap, so that's your indication.
Okay, okay, there it is. Yep. Flash Q from Frank secures the kill. Right as I mentioned, Nico only dying once in this oppressive lane. He gives over another. This Yorick is off to the races. He's about to base and get a second item, I assume.
Yeah, during the dragon fight, though, the Cyclone sets up a gorgeous combo from Minty, almost one-shotting Bassoon, but just not quite enough damage, and then the Tidecaller's blessing at the back end of the fight, allowing Bassoon to escape. But then just, I think, making the most of the situation after Wukong flashes over the wall, able to find that pickup onto Spike long range. And Targon Titans are set up here mid. They may be able to find Bassoon if he walks a little too far forward. Not going to do so right now.
Important to note about that dragon fight is the Xayah. Yes, I saw the disconnect sound, or heard the disconnect sound. So that looks like Spike is... the 225 execute. So at 20 minutes, 146 stacks. I think that's a little behind the pace of what they're supposed to be. But he hasn't died, and he's got 3 kills, 2 items to his name. Has stacked a call. He may be 40 CS down, but the Smolder is well on his way to becoming online.
Oh, the pause doesn't have the right audio set up. I can't use the pause right now. Apparently I cut the audio by switching to the pause. But, oh well, there was no action happening. Nobody worry. We were just musing about the game. It's fine. There's our
I'm at
post-pause
20
pause.
minutes 30.
Yep, we're good.
Okay, so
Again,
there's another pause.
Sweet. I'm not going to go to throw it to the pause this time because I don't have that audio configured at the moment.
So Titans have started Baron on spawn, and there is no response from bullets so far because they have top lane pushing out, but mid lane is pushed in, and Lux is there to make sure it stays pushed in because Lux doesn't need to do Baron damage. They've got Isaiah, and bullets have no vision of this happening.
They don't have an incredible Baron take team, but it's not bad. It's going to be a question of how long can they stall this out, because it is Minty's job to run interference and stay alive and try to milk this Herald for as long as physically possible. Distract, distract, distract. Keep them from walking over to this Baron, because if they walk over to this Baron, they're going to be forced to fight instead of take the objective.
Yeah, so the Xayah also only has
the CS difference across the board.
Yeah, it's bad. Like, bullets are ahead in kills, but they're down almost 4K gold simply due to CS. And they're also down a couple towers. In fact, yeah, the bullets have only taken 5 turret plates this game.
A summoner has reconnected.
Whereas Titans have taken 2 whole towers and then an additional 6 plates. So yeah, map pressure in CS is giving Titans a huge advantage this game. Let me read chat, see if they're discussing stuff. Okay, it says that Spike is reconnected, so I'm assuming we're just waiting for the pause to end. Okay, I see ready checks going out.
Okay.
Should be
briefly then.
Yeah, hopefully it gets resolved soon.
Yeah,
But even with Xayah,
nothing.
Xayah has not finished her second item yet. It was the only thing I noticed, despite being 40 CS ahead. But as soon as they kill this Baron, she'll recall and have her IE online. So yes, not quite 2 items, so the Baron damage is a little bit slower, but Wukong Leona tanking up just fine. Okay, there we go. I'm back into game.
That goal difference being made up for by the 3 kills and 3 assists that Bell has on the board. So nicely done there to mitigate the CS difference, but really going to be wanting to clean that up in the future. But of course, it's sometimes game announcement.
There's
on
post-pause.
Worm. Yep, post-pause is here. And another bug in the spectator client. Shout out to Riot Games. And a stealth Baron pickup at 20 minutes on spawn for the Targon Titans. And now
Level
the chase begins on the Frost side and the top side.
Oh, Sejuani forced to burn flash, queued into the Yorick wall, and Gragas is overextended. Oversight is welcome. Trying to take a tower after he just heard Baron being secured. But yeah, this Yorick, level 16, Hull Breaker, and Baron buff. If you don't send 2 people to stop him in a side lane, you will lose your entire base.
Yeah, he's pretty scary. And we had callouts in the chat that perhaps the move is to match Smolder into Frankward to just continue the stacking, but it is a 5-level gap. And that's just going to be tough to deal with for anybody. And not to mention the Maiden and Baron buff. So this is... Ooh, Eclipse Lance.
Oh, yep, secured hit onto the Nami. She's not even going to try. She'll ult in response, but doesn't have the flash. Is going to instantly go down.
If Aztec and Minty shoving in the top side together, this Baron buff take is going so well for Targon. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
They pick up the Baron and now engage. Explosive cast catches out Aztec.
Yeah. Smolder's the only wave clear. Shyvana's going to try to ult in, hits Minty. Bell's here to follow up for some damage. Gets the kill onto Wukong, maybe? Okay, they're a bit distracted with the Lux. They'll secure both kills, but they are losing inhibitor towers.
Yep,
but that's much needed. Those towers were going down regardless. Sejuani is trying to queue in, get a stun onto Yorick. Carly Bay is here to back up the Yorick. So is Leona.
Bot side.
Yep, Nami ult only hits 1. Isn't going to do much to deter them. They'll keep the inhibitor alive, which is as best you can hope for at this stage.
So they get the Baron, they give over 2 kills, and they manage to open up top and bot side towers, and our current tower count is at 8-0 at the moment. Only, yeah, there's 2 towers at top and bottom, both sitting at 1 plate left. But now a 3rd dragon spawning, and look at the vision control that there is from Targon in this bot side jungle.
I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wards in the bullet red side jungle. If anyone so much as thinks about approaching, the Titans will see it. There it is, dragon number 3 secured. 1 more away from Soul. This Smolder needs to come online soon.
Watch Bassoon clear these creeps, these wards here for a second.
Yep.
He's got so. Oh, but no, he's only gonna get 2 of them. So they'll time out before any major objectives come back up.
Yeah, but let me do a quick stack check on the Smolder. He's at 180. Oh boy, he's got a long way to go before 225.
He will accelerate 186 now. So not going to be too much longer. Should be able to pick up that by 26 minutes or so at the very latest. I'm assuming the waves are coming into him. Watching for where the next objective or the next team fight will break out. Carly and Crimson both moving over. Flash out, trying to find the Eclipse. Slow lands.
It's slow, but Tidal Wave is going to stop the engage. Smolder ult as well. Siobhan is here. Xayah is on very low HP, but he'll decide against it because Yorick is once again pushing in this side lane, and Gragas might die to this. Already half HP. Wall has been used. Body slam to try to disengage a little bit. Down to a quarter. Siobhan is here. Ults the Yorick. Gets the fear. Misses the E, but Sejuani's here too. They will get the stun. Sejuani's still trapped. It takes 4 of them. Yorick forced to flash, but he's sustaining with Qs. He's living so long. Shutdown will go over to Shyvana. Smolder is able to keep the mid inhibitor tower alive in the meantime. Targon looking in this bush. They don't realize they're on vision. Sejuani is going to dash onto the Wukong. Gets a little bit of damage down. Double bubble. CBJ positioning aggressively. Leona E gonna miss. They still don't know this ward is here, so all their movements are known. Xayah's kind of alone. Oh, Sejuani ult is gonna miss. Okay, Xayah ult burned. Sejuani dashing on top. Root gonna land from Xayah. Leona gonna help peel the Xayah and bubble.
Flank from Aztec.
Land. Okay, Lux ult over the top. Wukong is gonna hit everyone with his Cyclone. 1 goes down. Wukong falls in response, so it's 1-for-1 trade of junglers. CBJ, though, has burnt everything except Barrier. But there's nothing to fight over here just yet. Dragon isn't for another 2.5. Baron is a minute away. That was really just a fight for vision.
It was quite tense, but let's check in on Smolder. 208 stacks now. Still hasn't dropped the cold
Got a lot from that team fight.
But that's the 3rd item tier. 5-0-3. 5 kills as well for Spike on the Shyvana. So it's not a tanky Shyvana mid, but it's not too bad with the health available from, what is it? What's that one called? It's not Night Spell. I can't remember. And the Leandries. Frosteye continuing to try to keep himself relevant in this game, but really struggling to be with being a little bit behind the power curve. 0-3 right now, but the CS gap isn't getting any bigger at the moment.
Yeah, the Titans need Baron to be able to push any of the towers, because Smolder and Gragas do have enough wave clear on their own, because it is AP Gragas. His barrels do one-shot waves, and Smolder has the cleave on his Q. So Baron needs to be secured for any progress to be made. So it's really just a waiting game for that.
Talk to me about what are the ideal lane assignments for both these teams. Ooh, never mind. Baron's back up, and they are onto it immediately.
Looks like the Bullets are able to respond to this one, though. They're walking forward. Baron down to a 3rd HP. Smolder ult can hit a couple, but not very many. Leona ult whiffs. Sejuani's in the pit. Who's going to get the smite secure? It's going to go over to Titans. Lux ult hits several. Wukong ult is going to... Oh, but Smolder's got the executes. He's got a double kill. No, but he's rooted by the side. Flash E from Nico. And the double kill.
They're all dead, Jim.
He kills all of them except Yorick. He's got Watcher. Yorick is pushing into the base. Shyvana has ulted to try and clear the waves. Yorick does so much damage. The Bullets are trying to recall. But Smolder has died. The Yorick can 1v2 this potentially.
The Baron is down for them to pick up 1 tower, 1 inhib on the base push from Frank, where he had teleport available, but would have been canceled out by Spike's ultimate. chooses to try to go for the value play in the base. And oh my goodness, what a switch on. As you mentioned, the Smolder picking up the Elder Dragon stacks in that team fight and then popping off 4 executes in a row. Now onto 4 items. We just called out the 3rd item. Harley trailing behind slightly, and that CS gap has really closed as a lot of this gold is being funneled into the dragon. Dragon spawning now.
Smolder is online. They'll have to play for this Dragon Soul here now. The Bullets are trying to get bot lane pushed out because that inhibitor is down, and so they need the wave pushed out in their favor. Okay, Dragon started. It's spotted by Bullets. They're collapsing.
Vision
The Titans are a little bit split. Lux 2
teams.
gonna land on the Sejuani. Wukong's gonna ult in the back, but he's gotten to safety. Bell's backline trying to hit the front line. Oh, Aztec is almost dead. But the Yorick has made it onto Smolder, but it doesn't matter. Smolder's stacks are coming. Soul is secured by Titans. Everyone's dying for the Titans.
Everyone's dying for the Titans. 4 still standing for the Bullets, but that Dragon Soul, as you mentioned, being picked up by Aztec on just a whisper of a health bar. And
Minty. One combos the Nami. Okay, CBJ gonna really hurt the Shyvana. Just forced to flash out. Okay, so only one goes down afterwards, just the Nami. Oh my goodness, that fight was so spread out everywhere, I didn't even know where to look.
Yeah, it was tough to know whether to look in the pit or look in the front to back that the Bullets were trying to play coming in from the bot side Tribe Rush, focusing on keeping Bell alive. He is their win condition in these team fights, but unfortunately they're not able to get into the pit fast enough, and it's picked up by Aztec, who, as you mentioned, dropped down to about like 300-400 HP. Bomb Man jumping over the wall, not able to secure the pickup or the dragon, but this team able to easily secure the team fight win. But it's going to get harder over time with this Ocean Soul in place now. I wonder if there's going to be some heal cut that needs to be picked up.
Yes, well, the ones who are going to love this healing the most from Ocean Soul are the Wukong and Yorick. Their sustain is just going to be out of this world, and I don't think that the Bullets have enough lockdown to 100 to 0 either of those champions. Yorick gonna look to steal this blue buff.
Frank on some
just absolutely
here.
Yeah, that Sejuani cannot be in the same zip code as the Yorick. So they'll secure it for themselves.
Danger, but should be. Oh, Frosteye trying to steal the Gromp away with the explosive cast. Not going to find it. Will be on cooldown, but will be back up for the next objective fight.
Okay, so yes, Soul is secured by Titans. However, the Bullets still have phenomenal wave clear in this Smolder. The Titans can't really push these waves in because they will just get erased. They need that Baron, and it's up in 2 minutes. Last time they went for it, Smolder got a Quadra.
They do have the optimal inhib to be able to to fight over at the Baron. Let's go check in on the cooldown.
It should be respawning right as Baron spawns.
Yeah.
Oh yes, a little beforehand. Okay, Shyvana off to the side, might look for something. Sejuani ult gonna land onto Minty. They'll pop 100 to 0. Shyvana ult on top, fears several. Zaya ult forced out. Bell is hitting everyone in front of him and erasing them. Lux is down, Zaya's down. The carries from Targon are dead. Bell's gonna pick up a 3rd, but Yorick is pushing in top lane. He's taking inhibitors. Aztec very low. He's gonna escape from the Shyvana. Greg's gonna TP into the base to try and stop it from going down. But Yorick gets the inhibitor.
Bell, don't get caught out here.
And will escape.
Oh.
Okay.
What a Frozen Tomb from Bomb... Not Frozen Tomb. What is it? Glacial Prison from Bomb Man to start out that fight, landing down onto Minty. She's going to want to flash on cooldown, coming back up shortly.
Yeah.
So no flash available,
so good
so
look
nice
from Bomb
pick
Man
out.
there.
And then the further chase down onto CBJ in the back line, able to catch out both those carries, and then no amount of Cyclone or Eclipse is going to manage to win that team fight for you. Frankward is a menace on the side lanes, though, and opens up another inhib as Baron spawns in 40 seconds.
He might get pinched, though. Spotted by Shyvana. Frankward does have flash, and Shyvana is stuck down to half HP, and Bell and Bassoon aren't going to be able to collapse in time. Frank should be able to get out.
Kingstown onto Baron for
Okay.
Aztec, so it's going to be a quick reset and then run out to the top side as Frostide tries to clear out this wave, but he does not have teleport to be able to rejoin his team like Frankward does, setting up again on the bot side of the map for some more push time.
Yeah, I really think Gragas is the only one, even despite getting abused so much, Gragas is the only one with the wave clear to keep Yorick at an arm's reach and not get engaged on all the time. He just has to throw down barrels, let them charge up, and clear the wave slowly. But here it is, Baron started by Titans. The bullets are not in position. It's already down to half HP. They aren't collapsing in time. That's going to go down to the Titans. Yep. Pretty secure. Oh, but it's getting out now. Okay, the bullets might try to collapse. CBJ is going to dodge the tidal wave. Shyvana ult onto the carries. CBJ gets feared. Cyclone out onto several. Minty pops Nami. And Sejuani is going to go down to Zaya. Bell's GA is going to be burned. And I think that might be it. That's 4 dead for bullets. York is in the base. Oh, man.
A great eclipse to buy time from the Crimson Yoni. And then the laser over the top is devastating to the enemy team. As Minty now teleporting in, it could be in danger, but they're just trading Zonias.
It's just Nico. He can't do it versus this York. He's so strong. That's going to be it. Titans will secure the win, continue their win streak, and move to 4-0.
Yeah, congrats to the Targon Titans, able to go 4 weeks in a row with the victories.
My goodness. Bell played his heart out. It just didn't quite work in that last team fight. Very well played by the Titans to dodge as much of the engage as they could, and then distract the Smolder as long as possible.
So much damage coming out with that laser over the top of the last fight. Goodness gracious.
Yep. Absolutely disgusting damage. But there you go. All right.
All right, indeed. We can take a breath, Kalka. It's all right.
Yeah,
We're okay.
I need a bit of a breather.
Okay, Kalka.
That was a lot of action.
It's a lot of
Glad
action.
to see it though.
It's always tough when they like to lull us into a false sense of security, and then all of a sudden we're breaking into a 4-man team fight. But I gotta say, that game, I think it was defined by Aztec's rotations around those objectives, making sure that he is there every time on time, and then the huge advantage out of the top side that we haven't seen out of Frankward off of his signature Urgot and Gangplank picks in quite a while. So really nice and refreshing to see Frankward pick it up like that again.
Yeah, he pulled out a 1v9 performance, but he didn't even need to 1v9. He had pretty solid play from the rest of his team to back him up. Yeah.
Did he not buy
What's
boots?
They do not buy boots.
Spike did off the top.
He had Gluttonous Greaves, I thought.
Yeah, I thought he did. I don't know what Spike... Spike, what are you saying in the chat? Spike, speak up. Alright, we're going to throw to a short break.
On the mid laner.
And we'll be back with more LCC action soon. Don't go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
first dive, stretch, tell them run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check, no drip this, tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest, might crash, might wreck, but first dive, stretch, tell them run it up. 9 out of 10 roll through my hands, I'm by my lonely. Turned to a savage, now my baby wants to hold me. I love my fans, don't need no friends, I got my homies. Thought I could trust you, I find out you tried to zone me. I'm number one up on that court, I'm Nick McGrady. The first one in, the last one out, can't call me lazy. Put in my hours, send the invoice and they pay me. I need 6 rings like MJ and Tom Brady. I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check, no drip this, tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest, might crash, might wreck, but first dive, stretch, tell them run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check, no drip this, tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest, might crash, might wreck, but first dive, stretch, tell them run it up. Y'all gon' make me take that trip way out to Europe. I call up Niger, he'll come through in a hurry. Those London boys don't come to play, you should get worried. One false move, find yourself, they getting buried. Dance with the devil, used to love playing those games. Made some bad decisions that brought my mama pain. I made a promise to her, swore that I would change. I'm on the come up, bet I live up to my name. I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check, no drip this, tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest, might crash, might wreck, but first dive, stretch, tell them run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check, no drip this, tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest, might crash, might wreck, but first dive, stretch, tell them run it up.
They been on their ass, bitch, I'm on the rail. I wrap it, I bag it, I pack it for sale. Got feeling on speed out, I hit me to chill. I give it a thrill, I put it on film. Niggas facade, get applaud, that ain't real. Come to my section and flex, we can tell. I got a show where she dipping them nails. I'm flipping my L's, I know they could tell. I did it too major, they hit me for favors. Been him since the cable was cut in the cradle. What's up, only right that I do it. Colossal until I'm a boss, so they want me to fail. Look, we prevail. Telling the point out who said that they run it, bitch, I'm on your tail. Know that they talking, they telling them tales. Just know how to tell, that shit for the sale. Hey, they talk like they got it, but they need to stop it. I'm leading with logic, my heartbeat is frosted. I seen it, got optics I needed from Shawty. She mean with the top and it's obvious. They need him a target, I'm dodging their darts, make 'em reach for the stars. I'm dumping, I'm forcing the pun off the runs. I'm moving with caution, I'm saucing my nigga is nothing. From nothing to something they'll never be. Tycooning, I'm Dre with the thizzle face. I'm nothing my section has ever seen. Run the ice so I'm clutch, I don't need a screen. I'm Curry, I spit it from 30 deep. Do the pin in the pad like a surgery. She been curving you just to flirt with me. Toolie tucked off, but the jewels out. I just in a home with a full mouth. I'm a rare breed when the moon out. I'ma stop playing by the rules now. I been ran plays, need a new route. Queen said she needs space in a new house. Mom told me that she pray for the kid every day. No wonder I'm getting paid for the tunes now. They bang on their ass, bitch, I'm on the rail. I wrap it, I bag it, I pack it for sale. Got feeling on speed out, I hit me to chill. I give it a thrill, I put it on. Niggas facade, get applaud, that ain't real. Come to my section and flex, we can tell. Niggas really outside with it. Roll with it. Roll with it. Roll with it.
the reveal.
All right, yeah. So, Zon Plague versus Shurima Scorch. Shurima Scorch. That's a bit of a tongue twister. Anyway, both teams trying to get their first win here in Week 4. But let's get the. Actually, I'll wait for Jace to bring up the lineups. But yeah, what are what are your thoughts on both these teams coming into this match? I know you haven't played in this league in a couple of seasons, but what do you think?
Listen, man, I can talk top lane for sure. We all know that. Chaffles, TJ, both great guys. I think we're probably not going to see as much of a stomp as sometimes we see with TJ's lanes. They're both kind of more defensive, but Chaffles is a great player. And TJ can keep it locked down, and with Crispy in mid, there's definitely that carry potential. But we always have the Gateo on the other side. So long story short, I see carry potential on both sides. Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun game to cast and watch. I'm excited to be here.
Yep, so a quick update. We are having an emergency short-term contract for the Plague. They are bringing in Izzy Lifts, and they are sending Crispy to mid lane and having Izzy bot lane, and then moving Leroy to support. So that's
I just want that.
Yep, so that's what we've got to bring you up to speed with so far. But we'll see how the this sudden change affects things. Crispy did play mid for the Bullets last season, was pretty good in that role. And Izzy subbed for the Plague for weeks 1 and 2 while Crispy was out of town. So he's got a bit of experience with the team, bit of rapport, so should be able to slot in just fine. And then Leroy is a bit of a flex player. However, I think his support pool is not quite as large as his mid lane pool, so could be a pressure point for Scorch to exploit. And yeah, just let me know when you want us to read off the rosters. But until then, I will keep yapping. I will.
All right, this is my game. We got Chaffles in the top lane, one of the goats of the LCC, arguably OG, great player. We got Penultimately in jungle. Don't really know Penultimately, but he's put on some good performances. Blade in the mid. Last week, I believe Blade played Fizz, right?
Yes.
Nah, he played pretty good on his Fizz. I like that. Love to see another strong pick out of him. And then we got Agateo and Demi in the bot lane. Everyone knows Agateo, another one of the GOATs. And Demi was an OG player, I believe. Played a little bit in the early seasons and is back. Let's see what
role swapping from bot lane to support. And looking strong so far. All right.
Give us a rundown for the Plague, Mr. Kalka.
All right, for the Zon Plague in top lane, you've got TJ, Weakside King himself. In jungle, Griff Galmore, 200 IQ, the Briar Savant. In mid lane, swapping for this game, you've got Crispy, the certified boosted Masters player. In bot lane, doing the Plague a solid by subbing in last minute, you've got Izzy. And then in support, you love him, you hate him. I especially hate him because I love him to death. It's Leroy. And there you have your
competition. I lost. Your read off was way cooler than mine.
I've been getting into the groove of this whole broadcast thing, and I'm slowly working my way.
No, it's okay. In the next break, I'm gonna write down my intros in advance so that they sound super sick.
Excellent. Okay.
I need
Sounds
to
good.
get Matt in this lobby. Matt, are you online?
I am.
Okay.
Oh, Matt hates me and has not added me on League, so I can't invite him. Okay, he's in.
And here's
I know, and I don't let
give me
you- I don't
1
let you know
second to
that.
make sure everything is still hunky-dory. It's not, I don't think, because I didn't have a chance to fix things between games, so I just need 1 second.
You're good. Let me quickly check to make sure everyone's roles are correct, so we don't have a repeat of that incident last game.
My preliminary ruling on the field is that we are not going to replay game 1 as it has been completed. In the future, if you ever notice that a team has more than one player with a given role, are to pause the game and notify admins. We will give a final ruling after Jags returns, and I have a chance to consult with him. But each team should only have a single member selecting each role during the lobby screen, and I will be checking that from now on, and it looks like we are good to go here.
Yep. Okay. I am ready to get into draft. Oh, wait, hold on. I think we have a bit of a pause for Plague Side. But while we wait for that, so some of these matchups, TJ into Chaffles. Now, I am pretty new to this league. However, I do remember Chaffles Set versus Cho'Gath incident last season. So that could be something to look out for, because if Chaffles can get his hands on some spicy counter matchup, that could be dangerous for TJ. And I will stop yapping about that because we are into draft. Here we go. So we've got Scorch on the blue side, Plague on the red. Scorch going to start us off with the bans. Let's see what they lean towards.
What are you thinking here? What are you expecting to see from the Scorch, Kalka?
Well, they've already got rid of Pantheon, which is something Griff is known to play. He is, yep. I know he likes Briar, but definitely needs to be careful about where he slots it in. Briar, a bit of a unique champ in a competitive environment. And also got to be on the lookout for ADCs played in the mid lane from Crispy. There's the Kaisa.
Shinban, maybe Kennen.
Oh, targeting Chaffles, yeah.
Everything's fixed. Goodness.
All right. You're doing wonders, Jace. Thank you for your time and labor.
Normally I can go do administrative stuff while Jags vamps, or he can do administrative stuff while I'm running the broadcast, but unfortunately this time I'm having to do both because you and Matt don't have admin permissions to be able to jump around and do things like I can. But it's alright. Here we are, first round of bounds coming through. You guys talk us through it. We've got Tristana banned again, and I've heard just really from watching Pobelter's videos that it seems like Tristana mid is the fresh hotness. I'm not sure how effective it is in the bot lane.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is interesting.
Yeah, we didn't mention patch changes at the beginning of the broadcast, but something that happened recently was magic resist buffs to ADCs. And a couple years ago, you may remember in pro play that a few ADCs were rampant in mid lane because they were able to neutralize it so well, and then you just have rescaling double ADCs. And there's Vigar, so I'll let Jace talk about that a little bit when the right time comes.
I will say Vigar, an absolutely batshit crazy thing to first pick. I'm excited to see the champion, but not a first pickable blind pick, really. So we'll see how that goes for them.
Yeah,
I think you also have to keep in mind though that Vigar is like a really tough first pick, but when I'm pretty sure that's going to be Jade's pick, and when you have a champion pool that's really limited, it's sometimes worth it to just pick something up right away.
Yeah, but not when it's Vigar. We know that Blade has more to select than that, but here we have an immediate answer with this going to be Crispy counter picking with the Zed. Crispy known to be I would say the most successful counter picking drafter in the entirety of the LCC's history. And Vladimir
I heard you die inside a little bit when you saw that Zed look in.
It hurts. It's not an unplayable matchup for Vigar. The issue becomes Vigar is not able to assist the team in any way until like 2 items.
Yeah.
So as the center of your map, it can make life difficult.
Yeah, I don't touch Vagar, but I do enjoy Zed, and I will be honest, if I get to play Zed into Vagar, I am going to enjoy myself greatly. So.
Like, just give me back the instant stun cage like we have in Classic. That's the good stuff. That's what we need, because I can instant stun a Zed after he ults me every time. It's so free. But
now I like this Poppy pick because it synergizes with the Vigar pretty well. You can charge people into the Vigar cage if they're just trying to dance around his side. However, currently Poppy doesn't directly counter any of the Plague's picks because Zed's W is a blink, not a dash. And then Jinx doesn't have any dashes in her kit regardless. So I'm also assuming that's... Okay, now wait. Now here we have Poppy and Shen locked in, who are both interchangeable in top and jungle.
Well, I have to say those are two really good picks in terms of Zed existing, because he's not going to do very well in either of those champs, because if Zed jumps behind a Poppy, she can just take him into the wall, and Shin can also just taunt and drop his aura cage around him, and they can't even do anything. Nasus
And Shen just ults whoever Zed ults to keep them alive. So I definitely like the pick here. And they've
Nasus banned
traded the
away
pick
in
around
round one.
already.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
not
they've
exactly a secret. But Nasus banned out in game 1, but able to be picked up here, presumably for the top lane.
Yep, definitely one of TJ's preferred picks. And now because it's picked on R3, they would in theory be able to ban counters, but they are pretty confident that Shen is already going up there. And so now they'll instead get rid of bot lane picks.
Nasus into Shin, I'm not sure off the top of my head how it is, but I think like it's one of those where Shin might be able to outplay him early on and get a couple kills, but like Nasus is just going to kind of scale. So I think it's a good pick for TJ. He's not trying to execute something insane mechanically. He's just picking a champion that'll scale. He can press W on the enemy ADC 30 minutes in and they won't be able to move, you know?
Yep. So already a decent amount of scaling on the Plague side. However, I do think Nasus definitely more of a mid-game spike type of champion. Same with the Zed. So we'll be Plague are looking to do a lot of the work around the map once they're on 2 or 3 items. But there are some more target bans towards Agateo. Let's see what else he's got in his pocket. Yeah, he's got 4 picks banned against him. If you assume that Tristana was targeted specifically at bot lane.
Which I'm going to assume was key pick for him, so.
Yep, he does like to play that Tristana. I would say Corki in the same vein as Tristana. I don't like modern Corki all that much. It feels like a very high-risk pick to take into a competitive situation. And a lot of the times I see the most success within the LCC going for that scaling pick as a marksman, or otherwise picking up a mage to go towards the late game as well. Nasus coming through here will be the scaling pick to answer Veigar, I guess. Kind of just like, infinite scaling to trade off infinite scaling. But here we've got our R4 pickup. Will we see... This should be support, right? No, we're going to go for
they left the Briar up and he took it. Yeah, so Griff does get his Briar. He knows what he's into topside. A couple of pretty strong tanks. And Veigar is also... I'm trying to think, if Veigar cages himself after getting hit with a Briar ult, Briar stuns herself as she dashes in.
Briar is unstoppable during the travel.
Yes, unstoppable during the travel, but the stun persists
on the
stun. She gets through.
No, it will only stun if you stand on the stun as she connects. But you can pre-place the stun and then stand on the wall.
All right, so the Scorch lock in their bot lane as Caitlyn Seraphine. A lot of team fighting AoE stuff on the side of Scorch.
Really like Seraphine as an answer to Briar. That's a very... But of course you do not want to be hit. But Demi will have a great answer to easily turn around onto the Briar. You throw that Encore over the incoming certain death, and then you're able to guarantee to get the extra distance off of yourself, the Briar, and then prevent any reinforcements coming in from the enemy teams. So that one's very nice. In addition to, man, there is so much protect the Agateo happening on this blue side. But let's, guys, give me a rundown on the red side. How we looking there?
They're all AD.
Yep,
they're all AD.
They are.
And there is a Poppy and Shen on the opposite side. So they are just going to stack every armor item they can and become nigh unkillable. They are going to need Jinx on full 6 slots to be able to start winning team fights or being able to kill those tanks in front of them.
I believe the last time we've seen Jinx, we have seen triple kills in the first 10 minutes. So I'm curious to see if that keeps up.
I'm going to drop something on the other side because you're totally right in a traditional 5v5 equal rank setting. But if we also think about it a little bit, we got a very a diamond player on Zed into a counter pick against Jade, who is a good friend of mine, but at the same time, on Veigar into a diamond Zed might struggle a little bit. And so without that Veigar damage, I mean, what do they do if Nasus just presses W on Caitlyn and then Zed R, Briar R, kill Caitlyn and move on? And they're mid game comp anyways. So I just on that other side, it's like I feel like a big piece of this lies on Jade to not get too far behind and to deal enough damage to be relevant that they have to not ignore him, you know?
But the other side to keep in mind is that Plague just had to lane swap 3 positions. Crispy going to the mid lane, Izzy swapping in for Marksman, and then Leroy moving over to support. So any practice that they've had is kind of out the window, and this is going to, I'd say, be up to Griff and TJ to really steer the ship with the the Briar Nasus.
That's super fair.
Plague are going to have to hit level 6 and then do as much work around the map as they can before these core items start to come in for the tanks on Scorch, and before the Vigar can start really stacking his passive and just becoming an AP one-shot nightmare.
Yeah, one thing to watch out for is if we can see any combinations between Griff on the certain death out of Briar, moving in combination with Crispy on flanks, because Crispy has always been one to look for those flanks into the jungle to harass the enemy jungler on buffs as they take them, and then is going to be a menace in the late game playing around vision. So we've got a role swap here for Crispy into the mid lane, but as we all know, Crispy played mid lane last season, so no stranger to the position, even if it's been a little bit.
Yeah, I think very low prio top, to be honest. I think both of those champs are going to be, you know, as relevant as they can be. I think because, you know, Caitlyn at 6 items, headshot Zed, and he's dead.
Yeah, the other thing to note is that very dive heavy on Plague side. They've got Zed, Briar, Nasus just trying to sprint at the enemy backline. And as soon as that Caitlyn gets like 4 items plus GA with a Seraphine, Vigar Cage, Poppy wall stunning, Shen ulting, I don't think the Caitlyn's going to die, even with all the dive that Plague have in their arsenal. It's really going to be win early and win fast for Plague if they want to take this W.
You gotta say respect to Agateo though, because I feel like every team he's ever been on, their game plan has become protect Agateo. So like, you know, he's kind of got that goated reputation, and they're following through with it this time. It's 100% protect Agateo comp.
First strike on Caitlyn, aftershock on Poppy. Those are things that
in the chat. Shut up, Whisper. The gambling has already been completed. Looks like you made it. You tell him.
Okay, this is interesting. This changes things up a bit. With first strike Caitlyn, that means he's trying to just get a huge lead in the bot lane and then spike a lot earlier, because the only tank on Plague side is Nasus. And so if the Shen is keeping the Nasus busy and Caitlyn gets ahead of the power curve, she's just going to one-shot everything on Plague's roster.
Welcome to Summoner's
One thing to
But
watch
here
out
we
for,
are.
But let's we can always point out to where our junglers are going to start. We've got immediate runouts to grab some early vision. I love to see how this develops throughout the course of the season. And with the minions starting and minions spawning sooner in the game, it's always just a mad rush to get out that first vision. And we're going to see a early ward from Crispy onto the Raptors. And penultimately, and Griff will both be starting in the top side.
Yep, so junglers matching each other. Meanwhile, bot lane for Scorch is going to get priority. They have the ward in the bush, and so they get the extra pressure down. And Seraphine Qs are also going to start landing poke this early on. But here we go, early laning phase. Already Nasus is getting chunked to half HP. Really, this a lot of pressure in this bot lane. They're just going to be throwing skill shots back and forth, and already are having to play on their back foot.
Griff was spotted,
as
but jumps over the Baron wall here, and ultimately doesn't know. They thought that Griff was moving up towards the top side. Spotted now.
Yep, looking for the invade. Level 2 already chunked him down to half. Gets the trade back. Okay, Aftershock is procced after all the Briar damage has come out, but Briar is going to like that. Gets the smite secure. Troffles does have prio, and we'll get there first, but he's going to back away. So one camp stolen for Griff.
Ultimately needs to continue clearing. It's a nice pickup for Griff. Worried about the that Griff is going to still be in there in the jungle. Okay, we'll continue on to the wolves now. Okay, seeing Griff on the ward, they know that it's safe now to come back out. We'll continue after losing just one camp.
Yeah, Choffles has gotten a huge trade advantage in this top lane, and has gotten his wave to crash. TJ's gonna have a hard time clearing this. Oh, lands the taunt, throws the ignite down, gets one auto, but he's slowed, and he's not gonna be able to catch up to him. That's first blood solo bolo for TJ.
Chapel's running it down. He's just put himself into the certified into tier list.
That's what matters most at the end of the day.
Trying to buff his place in the into tier list. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I like the
I don't blame
aggression,
him, man.
but not the look he was aiming for. Giving over first blood early after burning his own ignite on the play. Still has flash up. But gonna want that one
By
back.
the way, I think Chaffles made a crazy call there. When he was underneath the turret, he decided not to flash because he thought Wither would slow his auto too much that he wouldn't be able to kill TJ anyways. I would not have had that self-control, even though it's probably the right decision. I don't know if he
one
meant
more
to do
auto
that,
wouldn't
but
have killed either way.
he had grasps, I think.
Yeah, but out here, going to be able to catch that creep wave. Not going to be the end of the world, but not the start that he was hoping for with that aggressive play. And both of our junglers clearing down into the bot side now. Blade dropped quite low.
The electrocute proc. Oh, Crispy wants that all in. I can see it in his
I can't
eyes.
believe he didn't take the shadow auto ignite for the kill there.
Yep. He had the ignite, and oh, okay. Choffle's gonna land the taunt onto TJ as he's trying to go for the reset. Lots of damage done back, but TJ doesn't care.
He
He's going to reset
does.
anyway.
He is going to lose a cannon wave though because of stopping that back. If Chaffles wants him to.
There's not.
TJ does have a
that's not gonna be able to
teleport.
set up a freeze.
But both junglers still in the power farming era. As trades in the bot lane, more poke landed. Oh man, yeah, already a 10 CS lead for this Caitlyn. Karma Jinx not quite able to match the range and poke damage of Caitlyn Seraphine.
Yep. All eyes need to be on Griff for the side of Zonplay. Set up well on his one trick to carry the game if he is so able to get the gold. But Briar, high-risk champion, just by nature.
Oh, I gotta take it slow. Traps are gonna miss. Okay, so Plague aren't gonna quite secure the heavy trade win in that bot lane matchup. As yep, top lane is just farming at this point. Nasus is, let me check on his XP, halfway to level 6, and then he's basically unkillable for the rest of the laning phase. Because with Shen Poppy, that's not a lot of damage. It's a decent amount of lockdown, but they're just not going to be able to 100-0 Nasus in a single combo.
But and the other side as well, even though he died early, it's not easy for Nasus to kill Chaffles because he can block his auto attacks and then taunt on his way out, so he can outdo the slow by setting out auto attacks. Long story short, it's kind of just a dead lane that TJ gets some gold out of the start, but shouldn't be super brutal for either player.
Can Shed make Nasus Q miss a cannon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I would love to see Chaffles pull that off. Because that would be super tilting.
King's down now.
Actually, I don't
from
know.
Fun to watch.
Zonplay onto penultimately, so she has been spotted out.
Big
As
damage
Griff
on
goes down
Leroy
the
in
stride.
bot lane.
Ooh!
Just 1
Step-
HP.
Yep, he stepped on a trap, but is able to
Griff
just
is
barely make it out
behind.
with his life. If Griff on the
There's
flank,
no support, though.
all summoners are up for the Scorch bot lane, but he isn't able to 1v2. Izzy and Leroy are just pushed under their tower, so instead they'll just turn this into a dragon, I would assume. Poppy is in the area, though, might look to contest.
I don't know that Zap's going to be able to start up a dragon
Oh,
right
yeah.
now.
They're worried about that Poppy and realize it's not safe, especially with their bot lane on such low HP.
Oh, Crispy going in. He has R and he's going to finish him. Nothing he can do there.
Oh, yep. Has to burn flash for it though, so he gets the 1 kill, but his kill threat is a little bit lower for the next 5 minutes.
Yep.
But he does get that kill in this matchup he wanted.
Not quite able to land the stun, but I think regardless would have fallen. It just would have given him a chance to kill Crispy, but he picks up the flash anyway. It's just the reality of that poke. Going Vigar into Crispy, or into Zed, you really want to try to take Bone Plating secondary. I can't check if he has that. I do see Summoner Spellbook, which is curious to me. So
I
Yeah,
also have
can
to
you-
make an apology real quick. I thought that it was Jade, not Blade, in mid lane for Shurima. That's why I
It's
was
same
making
person.
a comment earlier. So Blade, I don't think you're
Same
bad
person.
at the game. I thought you were someone else.
Miso Jade is
Just
Blade.
want to make that clear.
Yep, they are indeed the same person. Don't worry.
Miso changed names to Blade.
Oh, it is Blade.
It's edgier now.
So I just double roasted Miso. Sorry, bro.
Yep. Just
Why is he
to
making
put
it
it
so
all back
confusing?
in. The trash talk is relevant again.
Yeah, it's relevant. Jade, sorry to break it to you, bro.
Probably going to go
Just
in
into
top, dodging out the auto attacks as you mentioned, but going to go even in the trade, trying to crash this one in.
Yep, the Nasus has hit level 6, has Sheen, and is no longer threatened by this Shen matchup.
Yeah.
First Dragon still on the board. Agateo and Demi are walking Izzy and Leroy away from the creep wave. They have the level 6 advantage
Zed
and
on the
they're
run
making
down.
most of it.
Never mind. Thought Zed might have gone for a look there. Okay,
Ghost
Nasus
Rider-
burns ult for the chase down, forces Flash out of Chaffles, but will Nasus be able to catch up? Isn't going to quite have the move speed, and Wither was still on cooldown. So,
No ghost
one
either.
trade. Forces
120
Flash.
stacks already on the Nasus.
Yeah, he's getting pretty fed. I might eat my own words here. He's playing real well. Down 12 CS.
Okay, jungler's
but,
fighting the top river. Zed has the first move. Poppy trying to run away, pops the shield for the move speed, and has the protection of her bot lane. Griff going a little bit further, gets slowed, and is going to have to back away. Maybe they go for Dragon now that they've forced away jungler, but Poppy is still staying in the area. The Plague have a pink in that bush by red buff, but it will be spotted out by penultimately.
Yeah, that
Started the
pink ward is
Dragon.
what allowed them to get that early rotation over, but Dragon down to half HP, Agateo and Demi showing no signs of the rotate, so I think this one's going to go over.
Yeah. Crispy deciding to stay by Dragon to keep up the pressure will lose a wave for it, but it does net his team a Dragon.
That's a little interesting. I feel like I know that the wave was not crashed in, but isn't the point of Shin there? You know, you can make that a 5v4. Agateo's fed and not at all. Izzy's half health. I feel like maybe they could have contested it.
You can
Maybe
look
I'm
for a
wrong, though.
5v4, but the reality is Vigar is going to deal no damage. And so I think giving up this first dragon and looking to fight at a place where your
Ooh.
jungler's not at half HP, probably the way to go.
Penultimate did not
reasonable.
quite get the stun into the wall, so Zed just able to walk away from that and deals a bunch of damage back onto Poppy.
Cage
Does spot out
just
the rope,
barely
though.
going wide.
Man, I have a feeling about Agateo. He feels like he's kind of styling right now. I'm not gonna lie.
He's
is
averaging
putting on
10 CS a
pressure.
minute. How much gold has that first strike netted him so far? Let me see if I can click on him and find out. No, I can't see it from here. Oh
You
well.
might be able to hover it on the left side under his player portrait. Oh,
Yeah, it just gives a
Peacemaker
description.
connects.
Yep, that's the first strike Caitlyn power.
he's gone.
Just wait until the architect
the
ability.
trap.
Yep. Dead.
I'm gonna
Did
call it a
not see the
solo
trap.
bolo. I
Not
don't
intent.
know how much Demi assisted with that. Oh my goodness. Caitlyn already coming online. Not even a first item picked up quite yet. And ultimately sneaking these Kevins.
I will say Demi did throw a one of the song spells over there and dealt some damage and took off the
Oh,
shield.
Briarald
but-
is going to land onto Poppy. Starts to deal massive damage, but gets stunned into the wall. Shen ult over the top to try and protect. Is going to land. The Shen W prevents so much damage, and Griff is going to go down. Zed in a 1v3. Going to try to escape. Deals so much damage. Oh, but he gets Tiger ulted
Oh.
very low and couldn't quite pick up two more. Blade escapes with a smidgen of HP. Oh, but the Shinx ult will
Oh,
land.
the Super Mega Death Rocket!
He wants to do it! It
So
will
it's
be a
a
2v2 at
Ow.
the end of it all, but all the grubbies go over.
And now
Two
excited
swords
with the
and-
red buff,
okay,
Izzy's
Patrick
on the
forces Flash
chase.
away. Yep, that red
gonna
buff
be able to
does
do
make
anything
the
about
slow significant. They'll chase him down, but not get anything except Caitlyn's flash and Seraphine's heal. Wow, okay. A
Heads
lot
up
of cross
comms to
map
throw
action right there.
the Death Rocket across the map. Crispy laying out so much damage. The cage does connect as he enters the fight. Ooh, a teleport in.
Oh, but Karma's
Does
stepped away.
he win this?
Izzy and Seraphine flashing each other, but the zap finishes off
Oh,
the kill
no.
onto Seraphine.
Agateo.
Viger has run down, will kill off Karma. Izzy is trying to kill off Agateo, doesn't have vision in the bush. Burns barrier, but here's Grift. Steps on a trap, Zap does not kill the Caitlyn. She's still alive somehow. Grift goes under the tower, takes a bunch of damage. Flash E from penultimately secures the kill. And Caitlyn is still alive.
Agateo somehow
lane,
eking his
brawling
way
1v1.
out of that one, and Izzy as well. So low at the end of that play from both of the marksmen. And both the supports just locking themselves into Mortal Kombat as Blade with the teleport down, making that use of the Summoner Spellbook, switching now to Exhaust for be able to hopefully survive against Crispy with the next all-in.
I cannot believe Agathea survived that. That's insane.
Yeah, manages to stay alive and has currently a 35 CS lead to himself right now.
Crispy
Basically
on
an
the
extra
rotation up
yes
to the
order for
top
looking
lane.
at items. Yep, Chopple's very low, doesn't have any summoners or ult to get out, manages to dash away, but okay, there it is. The flash out of the Zed should have enough damage to kill here, and yes, he will. So there we go. The roam up from Crispy successful. They will get this push in. Oh, the Peacemaker lands. Okay, where's that Briar Ult going? Lands onto Blade, gets that stun. There it is. As we mentioned, Champs like, okay, Griff flashes for the follow. Gets exhausted. Is going to deal a decent amount of damage, but not enough. Okay, yep, penultimately here. Gets the dash under the tower, ult him up. And they will kill Griff in his attempt to gank mid lane. But yeah, the Vigar has built Protobelt, so he's deceptively tanky with that extra bit of HP.
Yeah, this is a utility Vigar build that's really focused on scaling, and you get a lot of that. It's scaling because you get that CDR for more and more last hits with your Primordial, for that Primordial Evil stacking. Agateo has been ultimately on the side for this Tribe Rush.
Yep.
Oh,
Scorch looking to dive. Jinx is very low, chunked to 1 HP with the Caitlyn ultimate. Will be still secured by the Poppy. Karma going to try to root the Poppy in place, but is alone in a 1v3. Trying to escape, will be let out. Interesting.
I think just worried about overstaying.
Yeah.
They will let Karma out. I think I would have liked to see forcing that one in, but if Griff was on the way out to the bot side, he would have been nearly there by now. And so choosing just back away.
There it is. First tower secured by Scorch. Gold going onto this Caitlyn. She's going to be very rich. Almost 50 CS in the lead. But here's Griff moving up river.
2,000
Chopples has flashback up. Then we're going to roam mid, try to help out the Vigar. But here is Griff. Okay, Aunt's going to, for distance, stun down. There's the flash, burned, and then Griff will press the E to stop the chase, accepting the flash.
So trading Dragon for flash on the play. Nice pickup for Scorch. And ultimately able to secure that objective for her team, and now Griff onto her red buff, but it looks like Scorch have an inkling that this is happening. Demi walking over, not going to spot out that pink buff quite yet.
Okay, Griff will secure the blue buff and get out of it, or get out of there with his life.
By the way, isn't it crazy that Miso has a shutdown right now when he has more deaths other than that same stat line with 23 less CS? I don't understand how that works.
Yeah,
you know, I don't think anyone understands the bounty system.
No, not anymore.
It used to be so simple. If you had on a killing spree of some kind, you had a bounty, and that was it.
Mid lanes
Dude,
within
those are the
300
days.
of each other, so that's really kind of
Oh, really?
what it boils down to.
Interesting.
Objective spawned on the top side. Teleport is available for Blade down here. Crispy has Ignite ultimate, so he's going to want to try to find a kill on the bottom side of the map. But mid tower sets Izzy into excited, but Scorch should be able to pick up the objective.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Zon realized this Herald is going down, but they'll take the mid lane tower in trade. Decent enough. As, yep, the lane assignments shift around as Caitlyn is just doing so much damage to this Nasus, despite him being okay, he has to force his own ultimate to stay alive. Karma's up here, but is a little out of position. Okay, Tonk gonna miss. Nasus is gonna be able to stay alive, but he's still very low. Karma here to try and prevent any dives.
Currently rotating the Caitlyn around, trying to shut down these towers. It's been a while since we've seen this playstyle, but... Oh, taunt lands.
Oh, taunt lands onto the Nasus, and Agateo, with the perfect ability setup, secures the kill onto Nasus.
They're going to get loyalty.
And ultimately, going to dive the Karma, dashes into the wall, stun, kill granted over to Caitlyn again. Crispy might look for something in bot lane. He's got Griff by his side. They could look for a play. Blade does have flash. Okay, lands one spell onto Crispy. Gonna try to flash. He tries to use ult. Shen ult onto Vygar to try to save. Oh,
nice!
and Griff is stunned under tower. Trades 1 for 1.
Finds
Excellent
his
cage by Blade.
A little bit early on the flash, but does find the 1-for-1 trade. That's really what he was looking for on the play. Has teleport to get back out on the map, and Crispy's not going to be able to find anything more with Chaffles on the rotate back out. This game busted wide open all of a sudden after it was fairly standard for so long.
Yeah, I think Crispy dodged, or I say dodge, but like immuned the Vygar ult by ulting himself to become untargetable. So Vygar had not finished casting the ult. So could have potentially turned that into 1 for 2. But here we are with the Herald crashing into mid lane. They will secure that for themselves and potentially charge again into the inner tower. Oh, but this is a little bit dangerous. But ultimately just barely dodged the trap. Gonna have to flash out to safety. But they'll get the charge down and secure some more gold. Chaffles look for a flank onto this Karma. Could be out of position. Taunt lands. And flashes away from the Serpent. Oh, no, still hits. Gets pulled towards. No. Oh, okay, he doesn't have anything to get away. He's got to speed himself off with the shield. Gets out to safety. Stun lands. Vygar is going to secure that kill. Karma not able to survive.
Nice flank. We can see another flank attempt from Crispy here on the side. He's watching for somebody to step away. He wants Agateo. They've taken bot tower, top tower, now mid tower, and they're looking for more.
Oh, taunt onto Briar. The Briar, who only has a Blade of the Rune King, is not tanky at all. Gets 1 shot. That's another tower over to Scorch.
And now that the lanes have fallen apart, it is just a all-game push fest for this Caitlyn. The Hex Optics Infinity Edge are complete, and Agateo is standing amongst 5.
Root's gonna land onto Jinx, force the burn barrier.
Yeah,
they're actually gonna take this inhibitor tower. Okay, Seraphine very low. Taunt gonna land onto Zed. Has to ult over onto Caitlyn. Flashes away to safety. Caitlyn gonna live. Doesn't take any damage.
Nasus is rotating from behind.
Yep, Nasus gonna look for a flank. Forces the flash out of Seraphine. Is just gonna keep ghosting. Briar ult. Where's that gonna land? Oh, Briar ult dodged out by Demi. Nasus is gonna be kept in the cage and not able to catch it. When Ghost still running, steps on a trap. Caitlyn presses E to gain further distance and slow. And it looks like Scorch will all make it out. All the gap close.
That was a great attempt by TJ. He just walked into the trap, but he had Ghost up there with Wither on Caitlyn. Like, if he had not stepped in that trap, I think they kill Caitlyn there. And finally, that's a shutdown in some time.
They should be able to secure Dragon here because all of Scorch are having to reset and go to base.
Yeah,
Izzy is very low, but yep. They're going to look for a bush cheese. I don't think it'll work, though, because, as I said, Scorch have all recalled, and it will take them a long time to get back. So it wasn't fruitless. They give up their inhibitor tower, but they do secure a dragon for themselves. Not a trade I'd personally take, but they managed to get something back.
You know, one nice thing, though, is that the minions won't die to turret now, so they can
on the TJ on the bot side. But Griff is nearby, does not have certain death available for the collapse.
No Ghost on Nasus. Has ults. He's going to get taunted, locked in the cage. Decent Vygar damage. He's going to get a very low, but the sustain is going to come out, and there it is. Vygar will secure it with a Q.
Vygar fully on.
TJ no Ghost. Yep, he's got 2 completed items. What do you think he goes next here? Death Cap?
Matt, why don't you give us a rundown on the gold differences and where these builds are going as we had a bit of downtime?
Man, that is what I've been staring at this whole time. Yeah, Chappell's going in real quick. See if he can do anything. Nothing gonna happen there. Well, we have a pretty big gold difference overall. 6K. Shrima Scorch over Zon Plague. Biggest part of that gold difference on the Caitlyn. Up 3K gold. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if I need to say anything else, because if I am any player in the game and I look and see a Caitlyn with 10K gold at 20 minutes, I kind of just sit there and cry. Like, how do you play against that?
It's 2.5 items, but it's still the same item tier overall for Izzy. So it's not the end of the world yet. When you start to get a full item tier above, that's when that damage breakpoints really make an enormous difference. But it's not fully out of reach. There is still a hyper carry in the Jinx and the late scaling Nasus. We can check in on those stacks. 526, 21 minutes into the game. So goodness gracious, that buff is making a difference. Yeah,
the Scorch are making a vision play towards Baron. Not going to start it up yet, though, with everyone alive on Plague.
There is that point, too, of like one good ult from Izzy, pick up a couple shutdowns, get excited. I mean, that Jinx will get really strong with just a couple kills, a couple shutdowns here.
Yep. The Plague aren't out of this yet. They do have Jinx. If the Scorch aren't careful, then Zed can absolutely just take Caitlyn out until she gets GA. She is susceptible to being 100 to 0'd.
Yep, but that Stand United, that Encore, the Poppy ultimate, I always want to call it Noxian Diplomacy, but that's just entirely wrong. It's like Tamashi and a Diplomacy or something. I forget what it's called.
Keeper's Verdict.
Keeper's
Poppy ult.
Verdict, that's the one. 'Cause
And
Poppy's
I'm
the
not
keeper
sure if they'll be able to. I'm not sure if they'll be able to execute it, but if Zed ever R's Caitlyn and Veigar just puts his cage behind, Griff's gonna get out of that.
Flash force.
Then Zed just instantly dies. So it's kind of unfortunate pick for him there.
Yep, gonna have to be looking to separate them out, so as long as the Scorch stay together, they should be able to protect pretty reliably.
Another
Protobo
flash burn.
forward, hunting for that cage.
Gets Jinx's flash. That's very important for these upcoming team fights. Jinx needs to stay safe long enough to be able to do enough damage for resets and then turn the team fight in their favor.
And I like the lane assignment, sending Chaffles to the top side with the Stand United. Not going to find Crispy resetting in the bush, but can always regroup the team using the Stand United or the teleport. Not to mention the
both teams...
full Thorn Mail to keep them alive.
Yep, and there, the armor items are going to start coming in real strong, and Jinx is going to have an even harder time killing the enemy tanks. There it is, Baron started up by the Scorch, already down to half HP. Plague are inching forward. They have some vision in the bush, but Chaffle's going to zone them away. Griff is in range, able to steal it, but he's not going to see it. Okay, now he does. He's going to flash over. No, it's secured by Caitlyn. Baron goes over to Scorch. They're going to try to get out as quick as they can, and they'll even secure a kill onto Briar. Now they might be looking for the chase. Is the Plague forced to run away without their jungler? And yeah, it'll be Baron or Scorch. They're going to keep moving forward. Flash from Blade.
Oh,
gets stun onto 2. And there's Nasus and Jinx instantly deleted from the fight. Both flashless champions. And they will instantly die. And Scorch are going to look for the end here, potentially.
Nice pickup from Blade.
Yep, they got Baron buff. Zed is only just now recalled. They're in a 2 versus 5 for another 7 seconds. Taunt landing onto Zed. Surfing all over the top. Gonna be dodged, but he dodges into a stun. Zed is down. Shen is probably gonna die to turret. Okay, Briar and Karma in a 2v4. They've got 1 turret alive. Briar's gonna look for the Caitlyn. Gets the stun. Barrier forced. Caitlyn's gonna live just a little bit longer. She's gonna stay alive and do more damage. Griffin's gonna fall. Oh, shield by Karma keeps him alive.
Well, he's got
1
no
turret
mana
still
as
alive.
he's coming back up.
Okay, and TJ's gonna spawn in 3 seconds as well. He's got Ghost. Briar ult in onto the Poppy, but Poppy's gonna stun auto attack, spike Demi onto the Nexus. He'll finish it, and the win goes to Scorch. There you go. So Scorch secured their first win of the season, and Zon Plague unfortunately got to move down to 0-4.
I think they pick up the win in a way that nobody's ever really going to be happy with a short-term contract and a 3-lane shuffle. But it's always going to feel good to get that first one on the books. And so congratulations to Scorch, breaking their 0-3 streak so far. But the Plague are going to continue to search for their first win in Week 5.
Yeah, well, I'm going to have to leave you gentlemen now, because I've got my game to play. So have fun with the rest of the broadcast.
Yep, we will go to a short break, and then we'll be back with you.
Hey, Talka, don't forget, this could be your chance to join the Certified Into Leaderboard.
I would never pass up that opportunity. All right.
Don't tell your team.
Yep, they can never know.
All right, we'll be right back. See you soon. All right, welcome back, everybody. Kalka has gone off to join his team, but I do still have Matt Apex, the one and only Inta Supreme, with me. It's gonna be a fun time. Always is with the LCC, am I right? Lost. That's correct. Kalka and Most are related. So we have some rivalry here. Oh, thank you, Matthew. Yes. That was last week, wasn't it? Matt's muted. Hang on one second. I think I know what happened. How do I fix this? That's not it. It's because I have turn on your video for a sec. It's not going to show, but I need to be able to pop out the chat. I can make you show if you want. Okay, so you're showing now. Are you okay with it? I can put it on dual camera.
Maybe let me flip a coin real quick. Heads, call heads or tails. Heads or tails?
Heads.
It landed on heads. All right, Matt is face revealing. This is crazy. After all this time.
Okay, I will throw it to dual camera and people can see you. Cool deal. Here is Matt.
Here's Matt. Let's see him. There he is.
Right,
that
Matt
is
in
the
all of
Matt
his glory.
83X.
I bring you the face reveal for Game 3. Forget the featured matchup. Here's Matt Apex.
Listen, if it was anyone other than Jimzy in top lane and Hope in mid, no face reveal. But for Jimzy and Hope, I'll do it.
We've got Matt here representing JP Morgan, but okay, I think we can go ahead and go to the hop to the presentation. I was being baited in the chat that we might need a replacement again, but thankfully we do not. So our featured matchup for the evening is the Bandle City Bucks versus the Freljord Frost. Bandle City Bucks sitting at 3-0, looking to continue their win streak, and the Freljord Frost trying to knock them down a peg and claw their way up into those upper echelons of our bracket, sitting at 2-1 so far. Bandle City Bucks for the evening will be piloted by Gemsy in the top lane, Most in the jungle, Hope in the mid lane, Inferno on marksman, and Shadow Kitten on support. This team has seen so much success early on this season. Gemsy has continued his upward trend from last season. And of course, playing in the top lane, we're not having any flashbacks to the jungle of Season 3. And then Inferno as well, continuing his trend upwards, showing us that all of that practice has really paid off. Moss and Shadow Kitten slotting in very well as rookies this split. But Moss and Hope have been finding a lot of success in the mid-jungle duo. I would say they're the mid-jungle duo to look out for across the league. And then Shadow Kitten and Inferno finding a lot of consistent damage and success. Even though it's not flashy, it's just making it work. I think Shadow Kitten on the Nico was really a good look. And I think it works as a flex pick between Shadow Kitten and Hope as well. So Bandle City Bucks trying to keep that win streak going. Give me the rundown for their opponents tonight, the Frost.
The Freljord Frost, the original Matt's alt accounts. Fun fact. Dark Jedi in the top lane. I don't know much about this guy, but every time I've seen him, he's put on a pretty good performance. I think he had 1 week where he didn't have his best game, but he's one of the players, one of the rookies that I'm most excited to cast, him and Most. So glad he's playing tonight. And then we got the mid jungle combo of Whittle and Clone, who are both pretty notoriously good. I mean, Whittle is obviously, from my time in the league, one of the GOATs. He's phenomenal jungler. Put him on Ivern especially, he's just a menace. Yeah, and then Clone, don't give him Shaco. You might win the game, but you're going to be miserable doing it. I don't know if you can play a Shaco mid, but if you can't, he probably would try anyways, or Yorick. And then we got Kalka, and is that Cross or Dale in the bot lane, or is that the same person?
It's Cross and Kalka. So which Dale?
Okay.
do you mean? No, it's Cross.
No. I pulled my roster from the original sheet, so
I
Cross
do
and
have
Kalka.
Dale there. That's my.
No, totally understandable. I was confused when I saw it the first time. I don't know anything about Cross. I don't watch bot lane. I watch top lane. That's why I know Dark Jedi and Most. But Kalka, great guy. Heard really good things about him. Trying to induct his way into a famous tier list that I brought up before. But yeah, no, really
As we
excited to
get
see all
through
the
these
play.
bans, do you want to tell people about your tier list? We've got some time to
Oh,
talk.
the tier
Already
list.
banned away, but none of these bans are going to be surprising.
I'm surprised about the Alawi ban. Is Dark Jedi an Alawi enjoyer?
Yeah, Balawi, as well as really seen a lot of success on Mordekaiser, and then we're going to have a lock ban out almost certainly into Clone, Mr. Lock and Load himself. Ari taken away, Ari and Renekton target bans against Hope and Gemsy. And then we'll probably see a Riven ban last, but we have seen the answer to Riven is just Cho'Gath, which is a LCC staple.
Yeah, they take that Ivern away. I will say, I'm not surprised at all at Jimsy banning Alawi. I know the guy, a lot of good champs, a lot of carry champs. All of them are trash into Alawi. So that is a necessary ban for Jimsy to be able to play the game.
Frosteye, leave the man's hairline alone. Matt looks fantastic.
Oh, no, it's bad. I'm not going to lie. Don't expose me, but I'll put it on camera for a second. It's okay.
Who's
You
got
guys
a quick
can't
link
hear
to the bald meme where you just stand there with your hand on your shoulder and like, it's time.
Nah, see, but this is the thing. My hairline's going, but nobody can tell because I'm 6'3". I'm exposing myself
They
today.
can't see it? I thought it was
Yeah,
because you were
all you guys down there. You're yelling up at me about my hairline, but the noise is getting lost in the wind, so...
Fine, Scion's passive
Anyways,
will
big
bring
ban.
it back. Oh my god. Scion's passive gonna revive the hairline and then it'll just fall apart again even faster. That's brutal. It's hard to watch it
going to
go
Turkey?
twice, am I right?
All right, I'm getting away.
Caitlyn
That's it.
is a great, I'd say, a pretty good R1, R2 pickup. They're slot well together, in my experience.
Yeah, well, we see another Caitlyn pick. Sorry, I got distracted there. See another Caitlyn pick. I've already voiced my opinions on that champ. They're not good. Never fun to play against Caitlyn as a top laner if they can get fed. So we'll see how Cross can do on that. But I like the Sedge pick into Smolder, Wukong. Good drafting so far. Nothing shocking. And looks like Shadow is going to pick up Rakan.
Ooh, I love this Cyclone Rakan combination. The Wukong Rakan damage combo CC combination is going to be so good if they can throw Mom and some explosive smolder shots over the top. But the Sejuani Caitlyn Leona also a terrifying engage. So both teams having a go button on deck.
Well, with Sejuani as well, I mean, that is a lot of CC and engage. I'm not sure exactly how you can play around that if you are not kiting very well. I guess Smolder's pretty good kiting champ, but still.
PJ, I didn't even run the first Gamba, so I know that I for sure did not. What is happening? What is up with its prediction? It keeps trying to...
Taking Nasus out of the game. I'll keep talking about the draft while you lock in whatever's going on over there. They're going to ban Orianna and Nasus as well. Oh, pretty good on the Orianna. He was my first round pick, season 2 OG. Do not regret that. Great guy, great player. And I have this memory of him taking this. He put the Orianna sphere on Whisper. Whisper flashed. He activated the sphere hard, Ezreal over it from Bassoon, and we wiped the entire team. So
yeah, the sombrero ball delivery because he didn't believe in his command attack placement. That's why I like to put it. But it was a highlight. Go check out those season 3 highlights.
Yeah, we had 2 big highlights, one against us, one for us, because we also had the Azir shuffle from Lucky. Anyways, who do you think they're picking here? What are they missing?
Yep, so
Some
we're
AP would be
searching up
nice.
for a mid lane or top laner. Both solo lanes available across the board. Cho'Gath to make sure that Riven isn't left open. I think this makes a lot of sense. And the Cho'Gath Vorpal Spikes pair very well with Sejuani's passive, able to get that Frostbite locked in. And so I imagine we're going to see Gemsy's answer, but of course we have to see both the mid and the top locked in for the Bucks.
Doesn't he just pick Mord here?
Don't know that Gemsy plays Mordekaiser. I think he does.
You have to play Ornn. Oh, okay.
So still laying on the top of the CC. So I imagine we're going to see a bit of a damage pickup here for Hope. Syndra is up. I would say pick Syndra, right? I don't know why you wouldn't.
He might go Ari. There's a band. No,
So
they banned
Lux,
Ari
there's
first.
the
my
other
bad.
option. I was thinking about Lux, but yeah, I think Syndra just makes a ton of sense knowing Hope's champ set. But Lux going to be able to throw that laser, throw the Lucent Singularity over the top of all that CC, and it's just going to be such a big focus on bursting down whoever they find. It's going to be trying to throw the Cyclone, throw the laser, make sure that they get eviscerated. But with tanks like Sejuani and Cho'Gath, it's going to be difficult to do so. And then Locke coming in here.
Ooh,
So stay locked and
The
loaded, baby. He
namesake.
gets the pickup.
the namesake coming out in the LCC. I love it. At least he didn't pick Yorick.
Okay, let's get our prediction in for the featured matchup. I don't think I just didn't do predictions for the first one, so we'll live with it.
Yeah, what are you thinking, boss? Who do you think has the edge here?
It keeps telling me there's an active prediction event. Who did this?
By the way, I'll keep going while you're looking into that. I did not realize how insanely bad this matchup is for Cho'Gath. I mean, it is bad. Like, this is really difficult to play. It kind of makes sense now that I'm thinking about it, because Ornn has CC immunity.
It sucks.
That is going to be tough. But overall, champ still scales. Obviously, Ornn is the super hard scaling champ. I feel like this is pretty even draft though overall. I think the one thing that's kind of out of place, to be honest, is the Locke. I think Locke, he's such a strong early game champ, and then you have him with Cho'Gath and Caitlyn. But Locke is like primarily early mid, isn't he? He falls off. No?
But that's what happened. For some reason, I couldn't see the prediction from before. So Clone, I think, made the prediction, but then I was unable to see it. But I gotta fix that. Sorry, can you say again?
No. I was just saying, I feel like it's a pretty even draft, but I just feel like Locke is kind of out of place in this team, to be honest. I mean, he's such a strong champ early mid game, but then you have Caitlyn and Cho'Gath who are waiting till like late mid game and late game before they get really strong. And yeah, especially with the Cho'Gath into this Ornn, like, he's not going to be power spiking early. It is going to be the long game for him.
I think it's going to come down to, can Clone find these side angles, and can they make an opening for him? Caitlyn's going to need to drop them low. Cho'Gath, Sejuani, Leona kind of all function as setup for Locke and Caitlyn to be able to knock them down. But Locke never wants to be starting out a team fight. He wants to be cleaning up those kills and moving in after the CC has already been blown. But there is such an abundance of CC on both sides to be able to stall out these team fights, make sure that people don't go down quite the way you want them to. So I'm really going to be watching to see what picks these teams can formulate out of the scenarios here. But let's take a look at where these junglers are going to be going, where the lanes are going to have early action. Locke has the ability to use those steel nails to try to set up some electrocute poke. It kind of functions a little bit like Echo, but not quite. And I think Locke does scale more than he is an early game champion. But of course, his numbers were just quite high. I'm not sure if he got hit with another nerf this time around. But I think Lux, just keeping your distance, using that shield intelligently, should be able to play quite well. You just don't want Locke to be able to catch you out on a roam and get on top of you. Wukong and Sejuani and matching up in the jungle duels. I think I want to give the advantage to Sejuani in the very early game, and then I think it's going to go over to Wukong, and then end up back with Sejuani as the tank items come through.
I think that Wukong's going to have a hard time into this match or this comp too. Like, how does he get through Cho'Gath, Sedge, and Leona to get on top of Locke, who has 16 dashes, and Caitlyn, who's going to have traps and also a dash as well? It's just, and he's not going to deal tons and tons of damage. Even if he beats Sejuani 1v1, I mean, they didn't draft a 1v1 comp. They drafted a team comp.
That's true. But I think it's going to be a matter of patience, because that Cyclone and the Warriors Trickster do allow for a lot of repositioning. And we'll have to see if that can make all the difference. As we get onto the Rift.
Exciting stuff.
Remember to hit plus, and we will let it roll until we are live. And we are in onto the Rift for Game 3, our featured matchup of the evening, BCB into Freljord Frost. Fortunately, still zooming forward. No level 1 action going to break out. An interesting red ward from Lock and Load there, Mr. Clone himself. Still zooming forward now. About a minute and 10 seconds.
Yeah, what's your timestamp on right now?
16, 15. Yep. We'll just keep going until we are both synced. Unless action breaks out, in which case I will slow us down so we can take a look. But it's just trading happening for now. These early levels, and there we go. Caught up now at 140. Snare in, and there's a fight breaking out between Hope and Locke.
Yeah, big trade in the mid, and
Why did it?
he's going to get out alive. That's impressive.
Yep, Lucid Singularity not going to quite connect, and then no cooldowns left for Hope to be able to try to chase further. Taking that shield level 2, let him be able to win that trade, and force out the flash from Clone. It's
There's a gank topside as Sejuani Whittle is coming in to gank Jim Z, and he's going to interrupt his dash forward, but not sure. Oh, the timing of the rupture is going to pick up Jim Z, and at the same time in mid lane, Hope is going to get jumped on by Lock and Load, Clone, the goat himself, and it's going to go down. So in a really quick succession there, 2 kills. I'm really impressed by that Cho'Gath rupture, actually. That was really well timed. I mean,
great timing. Practically the second that unstoppable finish, knocking him up with the rupture. And then Clone able to find the punish onto Hope, knowing that Barry's already down.
Hard to get into there. To be honest, I mean, like the interrupt from his charge from Widow guy was practically frame perfect at the edge of a minion, and then on top of that, the rupture as well. I didn't see as much what happened mid lane, but 2 quick kills over to the Freljord Frost. Definitely a strong early advantage for the slight underdog team.
Moss calling
we have some action
crossover to support him.
We have some action in the bot side jungle as Wukong is going to dash within the pit and have to flash over. They're on top of Kalka now. And Lock and Load, Clone is there. He's able to get there in time, but not able to make anything happen. All 3 are able to get out from that skirmish that happened with the Scuttle Crab. So Wukong's down flash from that, but Sedge also used his flash. So kind of a net even, if you don't consider the Scuttle Crab, which the first 2 Scuttle Crabs are super important. Did he get both Scuttle Crabs there? He did. Wukong's up 2. No,
first
no
scuttle
way.
has the other scuttle has yet to been taken. It's really a heads-up play out of Whittle Guy and the side of the Frost to defend his jungle. After that early gank topside, you see Moss rolling over, and they know that after picking up that blue buff, they're going to have to tussle at the scuttle. So bringing his team over, and then overloading even with Clone flashing over the, or not flashing, jumping over the Dragon Wall. But now we have continued action at the Raptors. Whittle Guy discovers Moss trying to pick him up, will secure it with a smite. Now he's got to escape.
Not sure what he can do.
Run. He's got no flash available. He's used his Trickster and will be run down. So it's another punish from the side of Whittle Guy and Clone.
It's tough. It's 3-0 Freljord Frost, and Ace, or Inferno, Shadow Kitten, and Moss all burn their flashes for that Scuttle Crab. So, you know, it's... And now Kalka's going in and putting some vision potentially down by Raptors, so, you know, they can keep track of Wukong. Now they know he's topside if they're thinking about it. So Jedi, hopefully going to play around that. Possibly Whittle Guy too. Whittle Guy's super aggressive jungler.
We mentioned that Cho'Gath into Ornn in this topside matchup, Gemsy and a Jedi, is a rough one for Cho'Gath, and so Cho'Gath not maxing out Vorpal Spikes, instead picking up a Doran's Ring and an Amp Tome, and maxing out the Rupture. So even if you unstoppable the Rupture, the damage still connects, and oh my goodness, yeah, Locke is a cool hero. Just face tanking all of the damage, and then coming out with a health lead. Wow, that's neat.
That's neat is a way to put it. It's always the new champs, Riot.
It typically is. Zenith Blade connects.
Dark Jedi in top lane. Ooh, just misses the Rupture. We're also seeing some action on Raptors.
Yep, Moss.
And Moss is going to give them all.
Really just
attempted
Clone
engage from
moving
both
around
support
with Little
spots.
Guy. And then we've seen a roam out of Kalka to set up that vision and allow them to know that it's available, and then to finish the play out. So Little Guy really making good moves with his team, rotating down here to the bot side, trying to find a gank.
He's getting this gank. Yeah, he's going in, and he's not going to get anything, just some damage. Leona's going to die. Kalka goes in, he dives, but there's nothing to follow up because there's no minion wave, and he's 2 shot from the tower, putting a strong case forward to move up in the tier list. Just kidding. Sorry, that
is
was
making
a
a case
large.
for the tier list. You mentioned before he left for the cast that he was had a chance to go for the tier list. This is his one that he gets. He's getting it out of the way early. And yeah, that's a whoopsie he's going to want back. A little Zenith Blade under the tower. And at least it's not later in the game. It's just a quick one now. And that's really the quickest way to reset. You get back to base so much faster, but Kalka back out on the map now looking for hope.
True that. What a good death. He's able to roam mid from that death, and also in terms of confidence, like he's shown his team that no matter what, he's willing to go in. And you know, Leona usually dies level 1. He waited 5 levels. So can we be disappointed? I don't think so. I'm
No
impressed.
matter what happens, he is willing to go in. That's right. Kalka's still got its Ignite available, so rotating back down. We'll collect this experience with Cross. Both of our bot laners, both sides for bot lane, still level 5, waiting to pick up that ultimate. And Hope, moving forward as he picks up the Lost Chapter, should be able to clear from safety. And Locke sitting at 2 takedowns.
Oh.
We have a fight in the top river.
Clone took the scuttle. He dashed and took the scuttle, but we have Jim Z coming with a charge on the left side, and they're able to take down Whittle Guy. So Whittle loses the scuttle, he loses the smite battle, and then also Jim Z's able to turn and roam over. And that is the power of Ornar. And it's just, it's like having a Scion Unstoppable Force. At the same time, Clone's going to go in a bit in the mid, not really anything going to come from it. But yeah, no, having that support from Ornn in the top side is just so huge. And they're able to come out really
but also
heavy.
Shadow Kitten early on the roam, able to support the jungle. Where earlier we've seen Whittle Guy get the support of the bot lane and Clone, now turned around and punished for it. No neutral objectives picked up quite yet, but both teams have their eyes on the top side. But Moss moving down with Wukong into the bottom side of the map. We have Shadow Kitten picking and Cross picking up level 6 first. And I think Dragon may be where we see our next action collide.
Where do you think? Ooh,
played in.
Kalka's gonna, but nothing to get from it except some return damage from Bubble from Smolder, and a couple shots from Rakan as well. What do you think's gonna happen on this Dragon fight? Do you think that who do you give the edge to here?
I think the team that sets up first is always going to have an advantage in these, but goodness gracious.
Actually,
Yeah.
looks like Whittle's giving, and he started in Grub's topside, so.
Hope has
And
that
I don't blame
barrier,
him, 'cause-
so not going to be full health for this objective fight unless they're able to buy some time for him to reset. So ping's down now.
But Dark Jedi June is going to come over. He's going to get it. Oh no! He went for the R to get the stat. Okay, but we have a fight bot side. Ace flashes out, and lock and load Clone flashes in. He's going to throw the ult down. It's still going on. Not much happening though. Not much to contest. Jimsy's TP'd bot side.
Everybody
okay,
is
now
here, all 5 for both teams.
I don't even know where to look. There's so much happening. All in the center, massive spark going through the entire team fight, followed up by a ginormous Ornar potentially. He misses it. He missed the charge. And because of that, they're going to be able to go in. But Clone is diving in, and he's not able to deal enough damage to kill anyone, and then he gets picked up. What is happening? This is... I'm confused.
Shadow
I think
Kitten is on the run, will be run down, and Hope is trying to escape as well. Zenith Blade not going to drive under the tower this time. Inferno managing to escape on the back end of that fight, and really just quite an amalgamation of action over the top. I think Most with the Cyclone trying to set up for the rest of the team. Hope hits the laser over the top. But then I think the Rupture from Dark Jedi canceled Genzi's second R2 to be able to hit the Call of the Forge God, hit a triple Rupture blind, I want to say, into that Tri-Brush. Of course, Rupture giving vision, but goodness, what a team fight. I wish we could watch that
I
one
have
back.
I have to expose Dark Jedi in this moment of peace, because I don't know if you saw it, but he went to Grubs, he roamed over to Grubs to get an R stack. They killed the second grub, reset the HP, and he R'd the second as they were resetting the HP, and he missed his R by 100 HP, so he dropped an R. He dropped an R on the grubs, and Jimsy dropped his R in the team fight, and they're 0-2.
Mid coming here, Kalka and Whittle Guy finding Hope out. Clips will connect, Clone down in onto him, and Whittle Guy picks up the kill.
All right, I'm locked back in the present now. I just had to expose him on that because that gave me a good laugh, and I'm not sure if it was caught on the stream. Widow Guy's going to start dragging bot side. At the same time, Jimsy is fighting Dark Jedi of Doom top side alongside Most. He has
not quite up. Smite down for the slow. Jimsy looking for the wall bounce, but he's really just playing Warden to make sure that Jedi can't get out. Wants to, it looks like, give over the kill to Moss, but now just picks it up with the Q. Quick little Rupture of his own, as it were.
And ends up being Dragon for topside kill and push. And with 18 seconds on Dark Jedi of Doom, Jimsy might have time to take a plate, lose a bit of tempo, but he could pick up the next wave through a proxy. Jedi does not have TP up, so we'll see how he handles that. But meanwhile, we got some action over by Raptors, and instantly dropped. Hope goes down as Whittle rotates over to provide that CC, and Clone, he's actually not that weak. He has 2 kills and 4 assists, 82 CS, and he just one-shot Hope.
Yep, Glacial Prison is going to lock down that kill immediately. Clone able to hold on to his Ignite and pick up the, what do we even call it? The helmet? I don't know, the skull off the end of his play. And dumping the wave into the tower now. Hope is going to have to be very cognizant of these sides anytime that there's no vision available, because it's just so easy to pick out a Lux. Anytime Flash is down, a Glacial Prison is going to secure a free kill there, and I think he may want to transition into just hard clearing the wave with Illusion Singularity and even sometimes ulti. Most here in the top side trying to find Dark Jedi again.
I don't think they'll be able to kill him, but actually, they're going to just completely one-shot him. I am so wrong. That is a lot of damage that early. At the same time, there's an attempted engage bot side.
Kalka, you don't want it. Little guy on the backup, but he is spotted out in this Tri-Brush, going to just to go ahead and walk deeper in. And yeah, Kalka, you gotta stop throwing those Zenith Blades at the tower. But, Dark Jedi of Doom is playing Rupture, Max, Proto Belt, and so all of that tank that you think is up there, it's a bluff. You have to tell yourself he's got no armor. He gets destroyed when there's actually damage focused in on him. It's all a bluff.
He got through. Yep, you're so right. I totally did not think about that. You are the official
Moss
top
looking
laner
for
here.
a push in onto Lock.
But can they do anything? Does
quite yet. He may have been spotted on that Raptor sword.
What? He just threw nails at him. I thought those didn't deal damage.
Oh, they do. It's cool, and you can also cast them really fast, or you can hold them for a while. Like he's such a neato character. Glad to see him get nerfed a little bit here and there. And yeah, the damage burst from the nails and the passive is so high in combination with Electrocute, and then even the Ignite that we see him rushing just straight up. What I can't even think of what it's called right now. Why am I blanking? Can't think of it at the moment. Matt, hover over it.
Well, I will say... Oh, what is Storm Surge?
Yeah. Okay, going for
Storm
the
Surge. Yeah, he rushed Storm Surge for the Magic Pin. I actually think that is super interesting. I'm pretty sure Locke does not have built-in Magic Pin to an insane degree, which is why he starts to fall off. I could be wrong on that. So Storm Surge, there's a fight breaking down, potentially, but they're going to back away. It's just a contest over blue. So it's 4v4 here with the ADC still on bot side. Jim Z is going to take some damage there. But, again, nothing giving. He's going to throw back the round.
Yeah, Call of Forge got out, connects over on the clone, but nothing else to be taken. Teleport's coming out now. We have the engage heating up at the blue buff. Gemzy is here. He's already burned his ultimate, but he finds a knock-up onto 2. Laser will land as well. Almost no damage from it. That looked like a bug. Bind onto 2. 4 here for the Bucks, fighting into the 4. Ooh, but it's a double kill on the turnaround from Clone. And this Locke pickup, we've seen it banned out in earlier weeks. And he's finding a lot of success on it. We can see why he made it his namesake, 4, 1, and 4 on the pickup. Same as Whittle Guy, who has also been leading the charge with these rotations. Always ready for the action.
You know, that's a shocking amount of damage because before that, he really was not that far ahead. I mean, 1,000 gold is a lot, I guess, but still, he's just out damaging the Lux by so much. But I do think that it's not lost because this Locke champ does not carry as hard after 30 minutes. And Lux is going to scale super duper well.
I don't think I agree with you necessarily, but
you don't
Clone
think
is
so?
definitely leaning into a very early game build. This one, I think, looks like he wants to be able to get in there and provide the biggest burst he possibly can and then drop his Zonias. But I think Locke can really push towards 3-4 items and then find himself able to, like, absolutely eviscerate the backline. I think his early game is kind of just... His numbers are crazy, but I think his actual early game kit is not that great. Just, man, the numbers are ridiculous.
Some damage in. Oh my gosh!
What is that? And the red buff ticks it down. He doesn't even use
He threw
Ignite.
3 nails, and I think 1 empowered auto, and Storm Surge, and killed Ace there.
Like, I'm aware he's got 5 kills. He's got 9 takedowns total, but that was silly. And Locke shoots,
He's a one-shot
looking for
champ,
another
and
one
Hope's
now,
dead too.
and it's another one-shot onto Hope. Gotta make sure that Dark Seal does not get stacked up. 10 stacks onto Lock and Load. Here, 6, 1, and 4, 10 takedowns, 12 kills on the board for his team, so he is making the most of the time that he gets to pick up his champion.
You know what annoys me about this Lock and Load champ, too, is not the one-shot potential. It's the fact that he one-shots you and then dashes and regens all of his health, like...
Yup, and you pushing down towers. But we will have to see how things progress. There is a Seeker's Arm Guard picked up already from Clone, so watching to see how that resolves. Will he be able to go in big for a team fight, get everybody to look at him, and then turn it all around with a well-timed Zonias?
Well, tell me what you think. What's the path back into the game for Freylord here? We're seeing a collapse, actually, and Whittle is behind the turret, but he can just walk back out since the Herald's still there.
So we have Moss and Gems on the top side looking for a pickup, another pickup on Dark Jedi.
They're going to get it. Oh, he autoed the tower, and he's going to die for that.
Ooh, you gotta turn on that target champions only, and Dark Jedi also is still standing. He doesn't have Grasp, I don't think.
And his passive is going to make him unkillable here. There's no way that Jimsy... And he probably still has... No, he used R to get Moss there.
Oh, you're right. It wasn't Grasp healing. It was the Carnivore passive giving him the HP from killing Moss.
Yeah, Cho'Gath has an insanely underrated sustain kit. Him and Garen are 2 of the strongest sustain champs in the game. I can't believe he didn't try and kill him there, to be honest.
Yep, no ultimate. Decides to just back off. Doesn't want.
Well, what's the play here? What do you
LCC
think Freylord Frost can do to get back into this?
Well, Freylord Frost are in the driver's seat, so I think they gotta do nothing. But I think the Bucks really need to make sure that they stop. You gotta stem the bleeding. You need to make sure that when you're walking out, you are no longer walking out into Dark Vision alone. We are playing for Inferno. Let's get a quick check-in on our stacks. We're sitting at 139, 19 minutes of the game, so we're not feeling great there. We need to really buy another 10 minutes to feel good. And so it's going to be trying to buy time in any rat way that you possibly can. Hope being engaged on.
Whittle is behind Inferno and
What a
Kitten,
play that
and
was.
what can they do?
Yep, just try to evade, try to get what they can. Cross is here. They've got so much damage over the Eclipse being dodged out. Inferno's being flanked by Clone, though. 1 auto, 2 auto, 3 in an Ignite, and he is down. Teleport in from Gemsy, followed by Dark Jedi of Doom. They will arrive to the team fight, but it's already been secured by the Freljord Frost, trying now to dive, find these last pickups. Ace in the hole, or Ace in the hole being blocked out by Gemsy will save, protect Shadow Kitten. Hope respawning now as the Freljord Frost rotate over to Baron.
It's tough. It's tough. Maybe a final spark can go over Baron and somehow steal it, but with Dark Jedi of Doom having his ult up, I can't remember the name, Consume? I don't know how they can steal it, to be honest. Feast.
Yep, it would really come down to trying to throw a Lux Laser and just catch them slipping, but realistically there's no steal to be had here. And I was gonna say that like just using the Lux to be able to clear the wave safely from a distance is a great option for them. They're trying to feed as much gold as possible into Inferno, try to accelerate this stacking. We're at 154 now, 21 minutes into the game, so we're quite a bit behind the power curve that we're searching for as a Smolder player. But man, Clone's damage on Locke is insane at the moment. And in addition, he's just picked up his Medjais. He's got another, his Aether Wisp for even more move speed. Shadow Kitten yoinking the blue buff, so that'll be nice for her. And we've got, yeah, it's just a really rough spot. It kind of comes down to they need to do anything possible to buy another 10 minutes. Lost on the rotate up to the top side of the map, trying to find a pick out on Dark Jedi. They've got a lot longer ramp to be able to look for it this time around. Call the Forge God in. Silence not going to connect. And Gemsy secures the kill for his team. Eclipse lands down onto Inferno, cleanse out immediately. Nicely done. Will dodge out the Zenith Blade, but the tower still going over, and Whittle Guy looking for the flank. Blown in his pocket as well. Ford bearing down on mid lane with the Baron buff.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I would do if I was in Gemsy's shoes here, and as a top laner, it's so tough playing behind when the other ADC, the enemy ADC, is so strong as a tank.
Yep.
But
he builds into magic resist first, which with Clone being so strong and laning in a Cho'Gath makes absolute sense. Now immediately itemizing into armor. I think that Most and Gemsy are doing what they needed to do. If they don't need to absolutely be there to defend mid to make sure they aren't losing the game, it's scrimp and save and steal every little piece of gold that you possibly can. And it's a nice cancel here on the Moss, but he should be able to escape. Turns around, and this has got to be an LCC overstay if they decide to commit to this fight. Kalka is here. Eclipse just coming out
as well. Coming from the bot side, he throws.
Oh, but the Eclipse connects.
Nothing.
That's a piece stack for Jedi.
And he's getting slowly bigger. This Cho'Gath, despite being the counterpicked here, is it's getting strong over time. You can't stop Cho'Gath from scaling forever. Level 15. How many stacks is he on?
7 stacks.
7 stacks, so not ahead of schedule, but definitely not behind.
You'll have to check for me if you want to see what the split on the type of stacks he's picked up is. Whittle Guy finding a little steal onto the Wolves. Perhaps a little dangerous, but has his team nearby enough with Moston on the Gray Screen Simulator. Not going to be worried about it. And a nice little Scryer's Bloom from Hope. Going to spot out the clone, the lock moving over, so he knows to reset. He should be ulting that creep wave, though, before he resets. That's an easy ult, and then you just clear an extra creep wave. But
might have been killed by a clone though if he did.
Yeah, you can ult from so far away, it would be safe. But decides to just go for the tempo reset instead, defending at the top side of the map. And the name of the game, until Inferno hits Elder stacks, it is all just stall. It is stall, 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 try to get on the same item tier, try to knock off these Medjai stacks. If they can pick off Clone, that's a lot of lost move speed. If they can knock him under 10 stacks, he's going to lose, I would think it's 10% move speed buff. And he's going for either a Lich Bane, it's almost certainly a Lich Bane. And they know that he's going to be aggressive, so they have got Moss sitting in the side bush, forfeiting some of his potential jungle farm, but really it's just the Raptors, so not a lot to speak of in that case.
Well, and that's with the name of the game being stall, stall, stall. That makes this next dragon very important because
it
I
does.
think that's the ticket to Freylord being able to just run them down in the game. To be honest, if they have Infernal Soul, it's like, what can you do? Caitlyn Infernal Soul, this lock, completely disgustingly fed on the clones playing. They absolutely have to find a way to win this next dragon, or at least not let the enemy take it for another 5 minutes instead of 2.
Yep, they need to buy as much time as physically possible. We will be watching these stacks. 197 now for Inferno. So, just another skirmish and a couple creep waves, and he will have that, and that unlocks them to be able to potentially turn around a team fight. There's a lot of CC available. They've got the laser to be able to knock them low, but it's still only 2 items for Lux right now. 171, those 5 deaths are really adding up, keeping him from being able to keep the farm numbers up. Clone has abandoned farming, as we know he's wont to do in the mid-late game, but he is maintaining it through having 13 takedowns in this 17-kill game for the Frost. And so he doesn't really need it. Yep, still 3 levels up against his lane opponent. And the mid difference is showing, as we just need to see BCB hold on to dear life.
An engage there, bot side, on Kaka. Nothing coming from it, though.
Yep, Grand Entrance going to find the knock-up, but I think very reasonably afraid to commit to the engage. And instead, Kaka will walk out a free man. We can see the vision line here being set up, really penning the Bucks into their base. The Frost have complete vision lines set up across the board. They're able to defend this as well. Clone setting up on the top side. They're continuing to look for a flank, but as long as they are not taking a tower, the Bucks are okay with this. Of course, we can watch the Baron countdown, Baron timer countdown. Spawning now, 45 seconds to the dragon, and the Frost are trying to set up a kill bush.
And it looks like they're just going to instantly start Baron. I do not blame them at all, because this is another key that they could take to end the game. And it looks like there's going to be no attempt to prevent them from taking this Baron either. Again, is that a good call? Probably, because if they try to stop them from taking Baron and lose, then they might just lose the game.
211 stacks now for Inferno, picking up this mid wave as much as he can safely. 214, they really should give this Raptor camp over to him to help him get to that stack just a little bit sooner. But now with Dragon spawning in 1 second, this is Dragon's Soul. He needs his Elder Dragon buff to be able to do this, but now even harder to pick them up with the Baron buff.
Look, it's clipped him, and he has Final Spark up.
Baron
Almost
keeps him
gets
alive,
him, but he's going to get...
Clone eviscerates him on the turnaround. Steel Nails connecting onto Shadow Kitten, but they're still on the run. Unstoppable will resist the Rupture, but Moss is over the wall. Not sure if he wants to go in quite yet. Looking for Clone. Unable to find it. Splash forward, Cyclone. He's chunked so low, so fast. Oh my goodness. But now Clone is still here. They've eviscerated Dark Jedi of Doom. He doesn't have the CC, but now the Infernal Soul over to Freljord Frost. And the Zenith Blade back in, cleansed out immediately. Ace in the hole, tanked up by Gemsy. Clone following the kill onto Inferno. The chase continues. Clone once more. They find the last one, and that's an ace for the Freljord Frost. They've got Baron, they've got Elder Soul, and they're going to push down and end the winning streak for the Bucks.
Clone just took Ace to Purgatory. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, but the laser
will comes over the wall. He can't clear this wave, though, I don't think.
The laser
11 seconds
annihilates
on
Kalka. He's got to keep his distance.
It's
disgusting. It's disgusting. I know how fed he is. I know how fed he is, but that's gross to watch. Goodness gracious.
Call Clone Dante because he just took Vandal City Buckaroos to Purgatory.
Oh my goodness. That's a victory for the Freljord Frost. The Bucks have an end to their win streak, and the Frost claw their way up towards the top half of the bracket. Let me throw it to single camera because we don't have a mat on screen at the moment. Goodness gracious. What a game. And really, I think Clone is not going to continue to get that pickup. He looked like a menace on the lockpick. See. Good.
Yeah, no, I mean, he was so strong. He literally one shot every single ADC and mage that he had his eyes on. So I am
Yes.
stand heavily corrected. I will say we didn't get quite to that late game. I'm still a believer that Locke is defeatable if you get past 30, 35 minutes.
It's the
But
same answer as
there's
every assassin. It's CC and then just make them be not there anymore. But that rush, he was so far ahead, he was able to rush a Zonia second and then didn't even need it. Just had so much of a wallet to be able to swing around at the enemy team, and then unable to get the Elder Dragon, or the Dragon Soul fast enough for Inferno on the Smolder pickup, and then the Infernal
well, we're
Soul coming
talking
over the top. Mm.
Yeah, well, we're talking a lot for Clone, and admittedly, Clone did really well and carried, and obviously was able to shut down Inferno because he was so fed. But I have to say, there is an underrated player in this game, and that has to be Dark Jedi because he was in a 44% win rate matchup. Not fun, and he got camped for most of the game, and he did not end. I'm telling you right now, if I was playing Cho'Gath into Jimsy playing Ornn and got camped by Mosta, I would probably be 0 and 12. Like
Yeah, but
just being
that's not
straight up.
different than any champion. That's every matchup.
Yeah, exactly. That's just
But yeah,
me. But
absolutely got to shout out Dark Jedi and that playing in that top side. He was a rock that game. He was absorbing so much pressure. I really appreciate the adjustment to the typical Vorpal spike smacks into tanks that you would usually go. Playing for that rupture, finding the poke out, even when Ornn uses Unstoppable with the Bellows Breath, you still take that damage. So well played from them. I think you can see Whittle guy moving with his team week over week, and that always plays a big factor. And we finally get to see Most face off against the perennial king of the jungle, Whittle guy. And he found out why Whittle guy is such a threat in the jungle. He comes in with a game plan and he executes moving around with his team. That Sejuani with able to even duel into the Wukong, and Wukong I think just really difficult to play from behind in the first place. And so it's a great showing from Fairward Frost. Tell us what you think, Matt, about how this week's matchups went. I'm going to get our scoreboard updated so we can take a look at the standings.
yeah, I mean, all three games or just this last one because they were all great to be
Oh, you can talk
honest.
about all three of them.
Man, I'm gonna give a couple of shout outs. I have to say, Minty and Bell, first game, they are two of the. I know the point system was a bit subjective and not meant to be taken too seriously, but they were both very low rated players on the point system. They need an adjustment because they are both super underrated. I felt like Bell, obviously with the quadra kill, had a really really good week. He's improved so much since he drafted me in season one, and then Minty as well was able to shut him down. And I know there was the fiasco with the change of the runes and everything, but Minty was able to shut him down. And with the final spark over the entire team fight, I feel like Minty carried that game, to be honest. Just absolutely killed it. Everyone else on the teams played well as well, but they really shocked me. And so congrats to Targon Titans on that first win. I would say Dream of Scorch, Zon Plague, another great game. I was kind of a third wheel on a date for the casting of that game, but I enjoyed watching it. And a lot went on with Zon Plague, switching around. But again, I think there's just, I think that, everyone says that the lower performers in the league, it's narrowed a lot. There's been a lot of improvement. I look at Jade, and he played so well. I roasted him almost at the start of that game, and it turns out, he was fed. He made a serious impact in that
Turns
game. But
out Blade
overall,
is Jade.
Blade is Jade, yeah. Shreem of Scorch overall had a really great game. Agate was disgustingly fed, and Zonplague just got pulled to the ground. They got the Black Plague. And then in the end, Frailer Frost and Vandal City Bucks. My boys, the Bucks. This casting team between the two of us, I know we have some Bucks bias, but Frailer Frost did very well, and they definitely deserve the win. Like I said, Dark Jedi is the underrated MVP. Obviously, Clone was completely 1v9, but
I don't think
without
it's 1v9 at all because I think clone like Locke just as a champion I don't think works when your team is not able to find setup for you. You even saw in that last fight he's standing actively behind his two tanks and trying to make them come to him so he can play around his cooldowns and try to find those steel nails for that triple passive proc and just burst somebody out in a moment. But I'm going to throw it over to our Canva presentation and we can take a look at our standings. Targon Titans standing at the top 4-0. They remain undefeated. Bandle City Bucks and Freljord Frost sit tied now after our last match at 3-1. And I just updated these, so please, if anybody notices a mistake, just tell me and I'll fix it. But Bilgewater Bucks and Shurima Scorch now sitting at 1-3. So we now have, rather than a 2-2-2 separation, we have more of a top of the table and bottom of the table setting 4-0, 3-1, 3-1, and then a 1-3, 1-3, 0-4. So we've got 3 teams with winning records so far, and then 3 teams that are looking to perhaps change their fates for the second round robin. That's all we have for week 4. Looking forward to week 5. Let me pull up the matchups that we've got to look forward to. But yeah, Matt, thanks for joining us. How was it being on the cast? Was it good to be back and get to see everybody a little bit?
Honestly, such an honor. I definitely miss playing in the LCC. Been out for 2 seasons, but sometimes life calls. Just glad I get to be here and talk to the boys indirectly and be a part of the show one more time.
Yeah, it's good to have you here. Thanks for joining us on the cast and lending us your voice and your face reveal, actually, for everybody.
Yeah.
Next week, we have in the 7 p.m. time slot the Freljord Frost versus the Zon Plague. So Zon Plague going to be hopefully back at their full roster strength. We'll have to find out a little bit about what happened tonight, but shout out to Izzy, able to fill in on late notice. And thank you to all of our captains, able to quickly approve that last-minute short-term contract. 8 p.m. time slot, we've got the Targon Titans versus the Bandle City Bucks. So that's one to watch. That'll probably be our featured matchup. The 2 leaders at the top of the table, 4-0 and 3-1. And then the Bilgewater Bullets versus the Shurima Scorch. And so both of them are the Scorch are going to want to change their fates, end up 2-3 at the end of the first round robin. Bullets, the same story, trying to bounce back after a rough week today.
Beautiful. Yeah, I'm so excited to keep watching the season. Don't know if I'll get the opportunity to come back on, but I want you all to know how much I enjoyed it. Also, to Chaffles and Kalka, I want you guys to know your applications have been accepted. You are now certified intas.
Yeah, it's like I want to go back to I don't want to hammer you, Kalka, but what happened with that Zenith play? I want to know.
That was so funny.
There's so many mistakes throughout that happen in games, and we don't want to hammer on mistakes, but I gotta know, Kalka, what happened with that Zenith blade? I think it was just a moment I'm gonna get him, and then it's just
listen. It's intentional. It's on purpose. This was a statement of fact. He was showing the world what is up, and they won. Good death.
Good death. You're right. He's showing. It's really, you're investing the mental game. It's all about the mental game. Oh, I forgot to.
He looked smolder in the eyes, went under the tower, died, and still won.
All right, but let's go ahead and close it out here. Thanks everybody for joining us for week 4 of the LCC, and we'll catch you back here at the same time next week, 7 p.m. Eastern, every Thursday until we hit the end of season 5. See ya.
Good night.